Good day to all. I hope all are well, except for, of course, the prompt. Hi, son. Hello, Homdini. Hi, Beth. Good day to all. So this is the topic today, people. White people are finished. Are you going down with them? This is the question. Most of you guys know here now that I left 5 years ago because I could see the ship was sinking and I did not want to be around. I did not want to be part of this. And interestingly enough, the first person who wants to come up and chat, if it works, has a ship as their picture. The irony. Talkative, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm very wonderful, thank you. So this is my topic today. White people are finished. Are you going down with them? This is my question. What do you have to add, please?
Well, in what way are white people finished? Explain to me your narrative.
No, you interpret it however you want to. This is my question. I want to know what you see, what you think, how you feel.
Up there like that, oh.
No, I can.
You can't put a prompt up there like that, or and expect us not to ask why.
I just have. It is up to you to interpret it. How you want you chose to come up.
I think you're trying to open up a rage bait there, because I'll tell you what you want to do. This is what you're trying to do, right? You're hoping, all right, and you're doing this very cleverly. You're hoping that you get a lot of white people coming up on the live with anger, all right, and then you want to open their vocabulary up a bit more and get them to start talking about, well, there's too many immigrants and asylum seekers in the UK, you know, the identity's not there no more, and you know, we can't get a bit of food unless it's halal. And
Talkative, have you ever been to my lives before? I'm assuming you've never been to my space before.
I've passed through them.
You've passed through them.
I haven't
so that
actually
means you've never
stopped
seen.
Yeah,
exactly. You've never stopped inside. So you're making an assumption. Yeah. So you're making an assumption because you think my TikTok space is like everybody else's space on here. My space is not like that, Talkative. So that's why I'm asking you your impression and what you think. Don't come here thinking about me and what I do because you clearly don't know. So if you can answer the question based on your opinion and your perception and think about what you see in the world right now, because surely you can see, or can't you see?
Well, look, you know, first impressions normally always stick, right? So based on my first impression of actually stopping at your live and your prompt, so it does give me an impression that you are open.
Your impression, because what you're doing
you're not
is
like that.
again.
I'm not judging you. I'm not.
Why are you saying maybe? You're making assumptions.
I'm not judging you.
Stop making.
Based on the assumption.
I didn't say judging. I said assumption. Don't make assumptions about people, because what does assumptions do? Makes a fucker out of me and you. Don't do that. Don't make assumptions. Right? Don't think that everybody is the same. Just because you're used to a program of everyone being robotic and everyone doing the same thing on TikTok, don't put me in the same category, because I'm not. You clearly haven't been here before, like we've understood. So I'll ask you for the third time, please. Answer the prompt. If you don't agree with the prompt, then you don't need to come up and discuss it. Someone else can discuss it. There's another 2 people waiting to discuss the prompt. The question's not what I think or about me. It's nothing to do with me up there. It is a question for you to answer.
I don't think they are, no, because how can a small minority in the world be finished when it was the small minority in the world that controlled the world? So if they've done it in the past, they can do it again. It does, of course, it makes sense. So the population of the world's white race is about 8 to 10%. So explain how a small percentage of a race managed to overcome and overpower hundreds of millions of people at the time, if not at least a billion, at least on the earth at that present moment in time. You're talking 300 years ago. It was about 6% of white people at that point in time controlled and overpowered the world. So if they've done it then, what makes you think they can't do it again? And I'll tell you why
It's
they
not
can do it
bullshit.
again, because
Okay, go on.
people that are not of European descent and don't have European blood just don't have the intelligence to control the world and to run it properly. You need to run the world like a business. And I just don't think people of colour have the intelligence to run the world like a business, I'm afraid. You might get the odd individual here and there that manages to become in power, but that's just to show that we're not racist. You know, we allow
Can I ask
people of colour.
Can I ask the ethnic background of your biological parents, please? I just want to understand where you're coming from.
I know where you're coming from. You're going to come down that route
No,
of, well, you're
you're
not
doing
English
assumptions
because
again. No, you're making assumptions
I'm
again. I
English.
just asked a simple
Okay,
question.
well, I'm English.
So both of your
And the
parents are
simple answer is
English.
I'm English. My parents were English.
Okay.
Yep, and both my
Okay,
grandparents
cool.
were English, and so on and so on and so on.
Okay. What I'm trying to get you to do is not run away and make assumptions like I've just said about 5 times during this conversation.
No, I'm not running anywhere.
So you've said, well, you are.
I'm
so
having a
I've heard a
conversation
lot
with
of
you.
things. I've heard a lot of things from you, right? And can I ask your age as well? Your age?
I'm 37.
37. Okay, I'm only a few years older than you, right? I'm 42. So you and I would have grown up in the same education system in the UK, which is very much full of propaganda. And what happens when you're an English person and you have an English background, you are the most colonized people actually of all, because you start doing the work for your 1%. And everything that you've just said is literally everything that the 1% have told you to say. And I don't think you can even hear it yet. You can't hear that these are people that came before you and colonized you as well. Told you and your ancestors to give away all their money, give away everything that they earned for themselves. And like I always bring up about the Industrial Revolution, how you even sold your own children into slavery, right? Like you guys did this, and then all you're still doing is the same thing over and over again. We're the best, we're the best. No, you ain't got a pot to piss in yourselves. How can you be in the 6th richest country and talk about how great it is? Like you've just come up here and said loads of colonizer shit, but you're not even reaping the benefits of your own colonization either. Like truly. And you talk about black and brown people very clearly, again, as part of the propaganda. But I'm literally sitting in a really beautiful house right now. And my friends do, and my family do, and loads of Africans do, and loads of black people do. We have so much money. We have more money than you. If you even look at the top 20 richest people in the UK right now, only 6 of them are English. Everybody else is immigrants. Everyone else is immigrants, right? So if you're just repeating propaganda, you are the first people to actually not see the world for how it is. And this is why I'm asking you the question based on what you see. If you actually opened your mind and saw it yourself, you would see actually everybody else thriving around you. You would see black and brown people thriving around you.
Okay, actually, you are a beneficial of this transatlantic slave trade because if the Europeans.
No, don't project onto me. No, you didn't hear it. No, you didn't hear a word of what I said, colonizer. No, you can't finish. Colonizer, you didn't hear a word of what I just said. I've just said that you are a product. So why are you talking about me? The subject is about white people. It's not about black people. Can you stop for a minute talking about black and brown people? Don't talk about us. That doesn't say black and brown people up there. It says white people. Why can't you stick to the topic of white people?
Well, I'm sticking to the topic of white people. If you let me finish, you'd understand the point I'm making. You are a beneficial to the slave trade because if
you're talking about black people again.
In Africa now. And
you're talking about black people again.
Is at the moment. Come on, it's a fact. You look at these African countries, and they don't even
talkative. How many countries in Africa? How many countries are there? How many countries are in Africa?
There's loads, and the majority of them.
There's loads.
Excuse me, Africa's a continent.
How many are there? Exactly. So I asked you, how many countries? How many countries are in Africa?
And most of your infrastructure is built out of mud. You ain't even got proper infrastructure. You moan about the West, but you're living in the West, yeah? All right? You benefited from the West.
Dude, I don't live in the
Don't make out
West.
that you've got money because you're living in Africa and you've done well. You lived in England and you made money and you went
Sir,
back.
what is this?
Yeah.
Do you want to
and
see
you,
my
and you,
home
and you
right
look
now?
like
What is this?
wow.
What is this?
Yeah, great hotel.
What is this?
Great hotel.
Hotel?
Yeah, great hotel.
Hotel?
Fantastic hotel. I've stayed there too. Great hotel.
You hear the
I've stayed there
jealousy?
too.
Guys, do you hear the jealousy?
Great
My
hotel
picture's
host.
up on the wall
Yeah, now go
here.
outside your door, host. Yeah, host, go outside your
Hear
door
the
and show us the
jealousy,
outside.
guys?
Let's see the lobby.
Yeah, you see the-
Let's
you
see
see
your
the
lobby.
jealousy?
Let's see your reception area. It's a hotel.
My
Stop trying to
front
pull over
door-
the wall of poor African eyes, yeah?
My front door is
host,
here.
No, it's a hotel. yeah, okay. Now
This
let's go
guy
and see
in the
outside.
hotel.
Now
My
show us
dog- my
outside and
dog-
walk down the street.
Yeah, my dogs,
Yeah, okay,
my dogs are
host.
sitting there. You
Yeah,
see my
okay,
dog?
great. Now
You
walk
see-
out your door. Walk
Can you
out.
see
now
my
walk
dog
out your
sitting
door,
there?
host.
Okay, talk.
Yeah. So, how delusional must you be in
Host,
your
I've
mind?
got
Like
a
I've
C-
just said,
host,
right?
I've got a CV
What
in
I've
my
just
house
said,
as well.
what I've just said right now, okay, as I've said, is that
I've got a
colonizers
CV
do
in my
what
house as well,
colonizers
host.
do.
I can
Okay,
show you outside
he's
my
very
door.
upset. He's very upset. Like I said, that immigrants and descendants of immigrants have literally excelled so far that he has to just be in his own mind and convince himself, right, that every single black and brown person has not achieved anything. Well, I'm sitting in one of my several homes, by the way, one of my several homes. I am not going to go out of my front door and perform to this Neanderthal.
Shut up, your several homes. You ain't got a pot to piss in. You took your little salary from me.
Talkative, you said about yourself.
You've
Why don't
took
you
your
turn on your
salary from
camera?
England and you're
Let's
trying to
see your
outreach in
camera. Everybody
Africa.
in the comment
Come on
section,
now.
let's
I could
ask
take
Talkative to
£1,000
turn on his camera. Talkative, talk on your camera.
I could take
Let's do a
£1,000 to Africa and look
one-on-one.
rich, you
Let's
stupid
do a
dumbass.
one-on-one, Talkative.
Oh, shut up, man.
One-on-one. Turn
You
your
ain't got-
camera on.
listen, host, you've not got a
I've
pot to piss
requested
in.
your camera. Everybody, I've requested Talkative's camera so he can show us exactly what he has got in his life, considering he thinks he's so amazing and he's got £1,000. Turn on the camera! 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 Oh, he's silent now, guys. He's silent. Turn on the camera. Turn on the camera. Turn on the camera.
Okay, listen.
Just do it.
Listen.
Just do it. No one wants to hear your chat. No one wants to hear your mouth. Turn on the goddamn camera and show us that you're not in a hotel. Turn
Okay,
on
I
the
will,
camera
but don't-
right
don't
now.
brush your teeth
do
first.
it. Do
Don't
it.
brush
Do
your
it.
teeth first.
Turn on your camera.
When you brush your
Turn
teeth,
on
I'll
your
turn on the camera.
Turn on your
Get rid of
camera. Turn on your camera. Turn on your camera. Turn on your camera.
Brush your
Turn on
teeth
your
first,
camera.
innit?
Turn on
Brush
your
your
camera.
teeth
Right,
first.
we're done this conversation. You can see these Neanderthals are mad jealous. Mad jealous. Mad jealous. They always come here with the projection, like I say, this propaganda that they keep thinking in their mind, every African lives in a mud hut. My mud hut looks fucking amazing. My mud hut is beautiful. Look at my beautiful treadmill behind me that I walk on every single day. You guys see my swimming pool. You see my hot tub back there. You see my barbecue up there. You see my 2 cars on my driveway. You see my beautiful bag collection over there. In one of my houses, I also own the house that is 2 doors away here as well. I own the house that is 2 doors away, and I have a house back in the UK. And guess what? I sold a 3rd house that I had in Spain too. So I had 4 at one point, and this bitch won't even turn on his camera right now to show himself in his own dirty box room at his mum's house. You see what they do? You see, this is what propaganda does. You cannot come and beat me here, bar for bar. You cannot do it, Neanderthal. You can't do it. Right, we've got Homs next, please. Homs, how are you? Look at that loser.
Hello.
They even turn on his. Hi, how are you today?
Good, and you? I'm not from the UK, by the way.
I'm wonderful. No problem. No problem.
Okay.
Susan just right now in the comment section has just said, stop bragging. If you're sensitive and you're jealous, Susan, you can also do one. Goodbye. Hom, please carry on. How are you?
Lovely house, by the way. Like, very nice.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is what happens when you get your mindset out of
blacks are this loud
colonization.
across
and
the
you-
pond too, huh? That's insane. I thought you guys were a little bit more civilized over there. Apparently not.
There.
Oh, see, look, he just dropped straight away. These people, they can't compete. That's why they have to say their 2 seconds and then run away like it's shit. Apologies for the interruptions there. Again, continue, please.
Oh no, no worries. But it's kind of interesting with the conversation that you had with Talkative, because it relates to the prompt in one way. I've thought quite a lot about this. White people are finished. Yes, in a sense, yes. And why it is ending is that specifically it's the psychosis of whiteness. So to explain a little bit, I'm from I have a specific ethnic background in France, right? I'm from Savoy. So I'm from the mountains, right? That's why it's on the neige, which means snowmen, because I come from up there in the mountains. And basically what happens is that our traditional lifestyle, our traditional habitations were made impossible because of what we call monchu. Monchu means the serfs, the people, the people with the suits, right? What they bought the lands, and they made their own exploitation of people, right? And those were rich people coming from Paris, from Lyon, from London as well, from Amsterdam, right? And those were very white people, right? And so what happens is that with whiteness becomes this psychosis where you take pride in people because they kind of look like you, when actually they're dispossessing you of who you are in your culture, in your land. And this is, exactly. And this has been specifically a thing that I've been fighting against. And because I'm a socialist, I want an actual, I want power for the people. And so what happens is whenever there is a social movement, in France, but in Europe in general, it stops at arguing about colonial dividends, right? How do we split among ourselves the colonial dividends? And eventually it stops actual social movements because of this, and we don't go further. And eventually we lose because of this. So I've thought quite a lot about this. And so because of this, I've been advocating for identities for white people that predate whiteness because of this.
Okay.
We can exist beyond whiteness. And because of this, it means that we don't have this reflex of whiteness whenever a social movement arises, right? And so we can actually go further. And so it is, and I think what Talkative, who he was, it was a perfect example of this.
The name is an interesting name, isn't it? Talkative.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talkative, talking shit, but go on.
But it is an actual perfect example of what I've been explaining. He's taking pride in achievements of people that kind of looks like him barely, but also do not have the interests in who he is and his life and anything.
Yeah, and I think you've really, really made some excellent points there. It is because whiteness now is what we see in. Oh, thank you. Thank you. What I think is really interesting is because we're obviously seeing the effects of modern whiteness, right? Whiteness as a construct. We know race was, made, put more into the mainstream from the 1700s, 1800s, right? So we're seeing the end of what whiteness looks like, right? And we're seeing the effects of it. And if you predate that, there was literally 7,000 years of whiteness before then. That was again more pagan. It was more living off the land, and what happened was that this 1% of Neanderthals decided to just colonize and make terrors of themselves globally. So I think that's a really good point that you're coming up with. It is predate. And those are people here regularly know that I very much separate the Western European from the Eastern Europeans. They've got very different mindsets, incredibly different mindsets. The Western Europeans, of course, as we know, have been the king and queen of colonizers, doing everything that they've done around the whole entire world. Whereas the Eastern Europeans have pretty much kept themselves to themselves, much like every other culture, right? Africa's kept their stuff in Africa, Asia's kept their stuff in Asia. It's not really, we've never needed to tumbleweed across the whole entire 7 continents, so I think that's a really good point that you're bringing up. And I think most people who probably will come by the conversation will agree that white people are finished, or at least the construct of whiteness, or what whiteness has become for the world and how we exactly see it. So yeah, it sounds really good what you're wanting to do, what you're trying to do, you know, going back to your roots of your heritage, which is definitely more important, because we have also people from Celtic backgrounds here as well who talk about, like I've mentioned, paganism and all of their pre-traditions before white people wanted to become elitist. And, you know, we see the biggest elitist group that we've had on this planet. Elon Musk is a trillionaire now, which is hurting everybody. You know, it's hurting everybody. So we need to try and figure out how to come out of that.
Do you mind if I add a few things? Just because I think you said it brilliantly. Again, my English is not that good, so I'm not.
Your English is excellent. Please,
okay,
your English is excellent.
Thank you, but still, what I wanted to say is in what you said specifically about this movement, specifically that step out of whiteness to exist in a system is extremely important, and there is a very specific fundamental point that I want to touch on, is that there is this globalization of whiteness, right? So specifically, initially, it was a very natural system where basically to justify direct colonization, etc., and imperialism, countries had diverging views a little bit of whiteness. So the British Empire, the French Empire, the American empires, etc. And what is happening through American consumerism specifically is that there is a unification worldwide of whiteness. That's what we see.
Yes.
And movements of identitarians. So and those white supremacists, or those people who have racist reflexes and kind of push it into politics, what happens is that their culture, our cultures, are being destroyed specifically by American consumerism, like hyper consumerism, that make our traditional lifestyles impossible. Or what happens is that they deport their attention towards minorities who have never done anything against those, who have never done anything against those cultures, etc.
We're just a threat to their greed. That's all it is. It's just we're a threat to their greed. They want to be able to do whatever they want with no limits. But we say no sometimes, and they don't like it. It's part of this particular group of people is the entitlement. Like, it's a massive part of it. I always say that this particular group of people are, what do I say? I say narcissists and sociopaths with psychotic ancestors, you know, and what narcissists are unable to do, and psychopaths and sociopaths, is they're unable to empathize with others, and they don't have any sort of self-reflection or accountability. And because we're asking them to be accountable and asking them to reflect upon all the shit that they've done in the world, that is what's causing them to crash out. Because of course the previous generations before have said, no, you can do whatever you want without consequence. But we're like, it's consequence now. And the universe itself is telling these people consequences are coming now naturally. Natural disasters, the sun is getting hotter, you're going to have less money in your pocket, poverty is coming back your way, because they've had many years to readdress the balance, many years to rectify and say, oh, do you know what, we fucked up, we did wrong. But they're choosing not to do it. So anyone who is going for that is going to feel the consequence of their behavior towards that. Yeah. Thank you so much, Holmes, for that. I really appreciate your comments. They're really good. Thank you very much indeed. I'm looking forward to speaking to you again, hopefully again in future. That would be lovely. Right, we're moving to Bollywood now, please. Bollywood, how are you? Bollywood.
Morning, darling. How are you? Okay,
I'm lovely. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you some scientific reasons why white people are. They are saying like we are okay. First of all, if you see the reason they are violent, because they're not reproducing, and I will tell you the reason. Because their reproductivity rate is falling down at a massive rate. And this is the reason why black and brown people, the reproductive rate is higher, because for them, what they are doing, most of them like drinking, smoking, and, you know, that's what most of them do, right?
Yes.
And second of all, they are saying, so I was talking about Talkative, he was saying that we benefited from this. Let me tell you, I will tell you one thing. You know who owns Asta, by the way? Does he know who is the CEO of Asta?
It's Asian
Two Pakistani men, British Pakistani men.
Yeah.
Two Asian guys, right?
Exactly.
And
the richest family in the UK are Indian. They're Indian. The richest family in the UK are
Indians.
Indian.
Yeah. They are Indians. Yeah, and I'm telling you, I know all these white people are getting triggered and all that. So let me get some facts right. Go and do your research and see which ethnic minority is more successful in the UK and got houses. You would say brown people. Then you have in brown people you have India, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka, and then you have the Chinese people or Filipino people. Then you have the black people, which is like Afro-Caribbean and all that stuff. You guys exist nowhere, to be honest. You literally exist nowhere, and then you moan about things. Then you moan about things like how we got houses, how we got Lambos, how we got Range Rovers, how we got so many properties. That's what it is. And just keep you. This is the problem with you guys. You reaped on our thinking. You literally stole our ideas. Okay, I will tell all these people that are getting triggered. How many of your people are successful in IT? Because you got no brains. You literally got no brains. You literally got no brains. You tried.
I worked in IT.
Call center. Yeah.
I worked in IT.
No ITs, no doctors, no surgeons, no engineers.
Yeah. And honestly, I tell you what it's like working in IT. I worked in marketing for many different companies, like wine companies, engineering companies. All the most talented people were Asian people. Like, they were all Indian guys. They were all Indian. The only people were the bosses, because again, this is how racism works. They'll put these people in charge, and I would be one of the very few black people, I have to say, in these industries as well, right? But I would always get every job that I went for. I was functioning much higher than my white counterparts, and I was supposed to be a manager in any one of these places. I was more challenging, like making people bring good ideas to the table and saying, hey, how don't we try this. But all the managers, all they do is sit in their office all day and do nothing but watch cat videos. So I'm like challenging these people. And I've told this story before, how I had a boss, right, who was so shit at his job that I made a complaint that he had to go on management training. Can you believe that? My own manager had to go on management training. I'm like, you knew who you employed. I thought they were going to actually promote me and make me be boss. But as I've said, and I've said this many times, you will barely ever work for a black and brown person unless that company and business is their own. They don't promote people above because they need it to look at optics, right? It's always white people need to be at the top, even though they're not the most qualified. And they'll try to say now, DEI don't bloody exist. They are not going to employ black or brown people that are not qualified to do these jobs at all. They're not going to do it. DEI does not exist. That's why we have to become our own businessmen and women. And that's how I became self-employed, and I became an entrepreneur. So then I could make money on my own terms, and I was not restricted by the white Western European world, which is so freaking small and so restrictive. So the fact that he's tried to say you made your money, and like, bitch, I made my money internationally. Internationally, child. Listen, internationally.
I'm going to, okay, let me tell these idiots those who are actually getting triggered. I got 2 properties back in India, right, which I built with my own money. I got a 2 BHK flat in Mumbai, which is worth like £60,000, right, because I was earning, all right. I got a hotel near Golden Temple where all the white people, when they come for holidays, they stay there. And I know them very well. I have known them for such a long time. Just go and stay there. And bitch, you're going to be jealous sitting down here, like, having a red stripe can in your hand and just be jealous. Listen, you guys brought us down here after World War II. Get in your bloody thick brain. Get that talkative guys that we benefited. Your country benefited from us.
Can this guy stop yapping?
Can this guy stop?
Shush. Okay, one minute. Everybody who's on the panel, 1 minute, Bollywood. 1 minute, Bollywood, and you can continue. Everybody who's been waiting patiently on the panel so far, thank you so much. Those of you who have been here before, please mute yourself, and I will bring you in when it's time. Amos, you're clearly triggered. If you unmute again, then you will be dropped from the panel. Okay, I'm sure you've probably got some important things that you want to say. But if you do interrupt again, then you will be dropped. Bollywood, please continue.
Okay, let me make one thing clear. All right. Okay, so you colonized all over the world. That's the reason that why as Indians,
yes, we colonized everywhere. We run this shit.
Okay, turd is gone. Goodbye, turd. Stupid name. Piece of shit. Gone.
Look, this is the problem. They get triggered because when you speak facts, they get triggered, and this is the reality. Get in your okay. You complain about okay. The first person of Sikh regiment was sent by British Army in 1898 in Canada. You have a problem down there, white brown people too. And then in Second World War, when your country was destroyed, the UK, you brought us down here. We didn't come by choice. You brought us down here because, oh, our country is destroyed. Who's going to build this up, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And now you have the audacity to come down here. That's why we are more successful than you. You know what? At least I can smell my shoe, yeah? Like this. And I say, yeah, it smells of success. Simple as that. And I'm going to be ops manager. I'm going to be ops manager. I'm going to be ops manager soon for Popeyes, and I'll be holding like the 12 store under my supervision. What are you going to do? Just sitting on benefits. Simple as that, and be jealous. And
apparently so.
Thing, like, oh, and you know what? I just rest my case because Fox. We have tried to educate them, yeah. But as I said, it's not gonna go. It's not gonna go in their thick brains at all. It's not gonna go. And to be honest,
that's why
what your ancestors did. What your ancestors did, it's coming back to you guys. And I'm not saying in a bad way because you're gonna think because your ancestors killed 500 million people worldwide, and this is circle of life. This is circle of life. Worldwide, 500 million people. 500 million people, and then you come and say to us that why are you getting triggered? I will make you more triggered because, as I said, I come with facts. And then you had the audacity to go and protest about like only one Sikh guy murdered the Henry Noah guy. Where is your outrage for Lucy Letby? Where is your outrage for Baby Preston? Where is your outrage for Sarah Edward? Where's your outrage for all the other things that are happening, yeah? And then you have the audacity to come for brown people and black people. Get a life, mate. Seriously, get a life. Simple as that. Simple as that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, go on.
I'm going to move to the next person now, Bollywood. Thank you so much for your points. That's it. Keep flexing, brother. Keep flexing. That's exactly what we're going to do. Keep flexing. Thank you. Okay, now we've got UK's top baddies next. UK's, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm lovely, thank you. So what would you like to add to the topic today? It is white people are finished. Are you going down with them?
Yep, so I'm a white boy, and the first thing I would like to say is it's amazing to be in the presence of a beautiful, superior, melanated goddess. And I really appreciate your intelligence and your beauty and the way you carry a conversation. It's amazing. I just wanted to say, as for are white people finished? Well, we're becoming our true selves. We're realizing that we need to submit and that we need to appreciate our superiors. And I think it's the opposite of being finished. I think we're just beginning, and it's time to pay for our karmic debt and to apologize and do what we should have been doing anyway, which is reappropriating and reappropriating and repossessing our things into the hands of our superiors who deserve them and who are just amazing in the world. And yeah, I think like all of the racism going on, it's because of a lot of things like declining white birth rates and a lot of incels, and a lot of people are just realizing that we can't compete anymore, especially with so many amazing black kings and things like that. Like, there's no wonder when you go outside, like every beautiful white girl seems to be with a black king, and I guess that's the natural order. And yeah, I just think that everything that's happening is deserved, and we should be appreciating and worshipping our ebony superiors, essentially. And you are a beautiful melanated goddess, and black kings and queens should be treated as such.
I don't like to make assumptions about people's voices, but you don't sound white. And a lot of people in the comment section have also said the same thing as well. But I obviously am going to agree with everything that you've just said.
My video on so you can see my hand or something?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Put your cam on.
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, both sides. That's a white boy, guys. That's a white boy. There we go.
We're learning our place. We're learning our place.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I don't know if you've seen me before. Do you know who I am? Are you aware of me?
This is my first time.
First time. Okay, well, this is very interesting because I'm actually a dominatrix outside of this. I am a female dominatrix, and most of my submissives are, of course, white men who speak exactly like you do. And it's very rare that they actually make it to this platform that I have here. And so I have listened to this conversation from white boys such as yourself for 15 years so far, saying exactly the same thing, understanding that black is superior, that we are the ones who are supposed to inherit the earth. We are the ones who actually birthed the earth, of course, until the Neanderthal came about 8,000 years ago. And then, like we were just saying earlier, about all the just that particular 1% who became so insecure when they discovered black and brown people, realized that we were the ones who actually came from the land. We were more connected to everything that was naturally there. But white people, and white men especially, became so greedy that when they saw things and realized where they came from was not abundant, they didn't know how to negotiate, they didn't know how to integrate, they just started to steal. And then, of course, now you're seeing and now you're realizing that all of the karma they've put back into the world is coming back to them right now. And white men a lot, even though they come here and crash out, and I always say this, those of these boys who are here regularly and girls who also come here too, they come here a lot. Even if they're upset and angry, I always say to them, there is that tiny bit in their mind that realizes that I'm right. They realize that this space is correct. Even though they're crashing out and swearing and saying, Fox, you're this, blah, 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 they still come here all of the time. They could go to any place. The TikTok is full of thousands of lives, thousands, but they always still keep coming that back. And I always say that as well to my clients too, the ones that do get upset, because I've seen the white boys crash out too. I'm not supposed to be this way, I'm not supposed to be this way. Yeah, because your society and government told you to be one way, but you know deep down inside that you are supposed to be the submissive ones to serve everybody else, the actual global majority. You were put here to actually serve us. But again, like I said, the people that came before you, the insecure men that came before you, tried to change that narrative. So the more that white people accept that they are finished and that they are going down and that they're supposed to come with the global majority, the easier things will be for them. It will be so much easier, really and truly. None of this stress, none of this upset. They would be more rich in their pockets with money because they would be a better distribution of wealth, like you rightly brought up. There would be reparations, of course, paid. And then once reparations are paid, we know that black and brown people, because they've done it historically, they have always shared the wealth with people. They have always done it. The richest man alive, Mansa Musa from Mali, was always giving out gold to people, giving it away. That is what a socialist society actually looks like, a society that actually cares for the people. But when you've got white men in charge, they hoard it, they greed it, they start killing others en masse. That's not what the world is supposed to be like. It is not supposed to be run by white men, because white men, hurt white women, hurt black men. Everybody else gets hurt when a white man is in charge. We've definitely seen that. So thank you so much for that, UK's top baddies. Good for you. Well done. Right, we're going to go to the next person now, please. We're going to go to Ohu again. Ohu, how are you?
Hey, gorgeous queen, I'm good. How are you on this fine Wednesday morning?
I am lovely. Thank you so much for asking. So, yes, welcome back to my panel. What would you like to add today?
I agreed with Bollywood. I don't know his full name, but Bollywood, and the prompt correct. White people, you are done out here. You're finished. Stay mad. Stay upset. Stay victims. You people just make me laugh. The egos of some of these people are just very, 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 very funny. And sorry, I want to take it back to James Baldwin. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, correct. We have to redress in order to go forward, because white people always keep saying, why are you talking about the past? Why are you talking about the past? Your behaviour is still in the past. Yep. They're still acting acting like they are back there. It's like, okay, well, we have to talk about it then, right? And if you're not willing to address, it doesn't matter. We're still trying, because this is the whole thing. We've always tried to move forward past them, but everywhere we go, oh, look, there's the white man. We leave, we go back home. Oh, look, there's the white man. Yesterday on the panel, we had a girl come here from Kenya saying she's got, I think she said she was from Kenya. She said she's gone back. She's like, there's people everywhere. It's like Amsterdam. It's like white people everywhere. That's what it is now. Regardless of what we do, where we go, they always follow us because they are parasitic beings. Parasitic.
Yep. They suck up all the energy, and then they cry about you know, telling your experience. So my mother, literally, I think it was Sunday, she was out and about in a local area in South East London, and then there was a man, obviously he was a white man, was driving his car and called her a monkey. I said, Mum, who was this man? She's like, I don't know, Serena. I'm like, Mum, if that man ever listen, the rage I had is that my mum grew up in the 50s and 60s and, you know, 70s of Britain.
She would have heard it all, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like they act like this never happened. Like I had to grow up, you know, being told stories of the New Cross 13, you know, Brixton riots, and it's like they act like this never happened. So the more they want to act like it never happened, the more we talk about it. Listen, I want us to talk about it till they get ad nausea. I want us to talk about it until they get migraines. I want us to talk about it until they physically combust. Because until they acknowledge that these things happened, it's still happening. Mind you, Belfast, you know, in Ireland and Scotland and Wales, you know, they're showing their behavior, their savage Neanderthal behavior. Why are you going around to random people's houses you don't know, setting their houses on fire, their cars on fire? What is wrong with you people?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
it's
done
the
out here.
Neanderthal. It's the Neanderthal. That's it. This is the only way that they know how to behave. I have a video coming, and Bollywood's kind of said it already, and we talked about this yesterday, about this, where there's the riot stuff. Because they always say, right, where's the riots? Like the left is saying, where's the riots? Where's the riots? You're not rioting. You're talking about justice for baby Preston, etc. Why are you expecting these Neanderthals to riot? Like you're supposed to do it as well. They're always just looking over there. The left aren't doing shit. They're not doing exactly what they're supposed to do. Like in England themselves, the left and the right have no fucking clue. White people I'm talking about. Because they've never had to really create revolutions. That's why they don't know. Black and brown people, we've had to revolt many times in our history. Whereas white people just like, let's just have a placard and let's just do this. And then the right are like, I'm going to throw some bins at a police officer. Yeah, that's not revolutionary. This is Neanderthal behavior. And this is like another clueless people that don't know how to actually fight for their rights. Because they're so submissive, they've just gone along with whatever the governments have literally told them what to do for generations and centuries. That's all they can do is listen. And we had some guy come yesterday. This is the Anglo-Saxon line I'm talking about. So, of course, that goes through to Australia, goes through to America. Some guy came here at the end of the live yesterday. None of us were American here, by the way. And he was like, yeah, Trump, go Trump. Like, why are you shouting another man's name for? in this place? Like, what the fuck is it? Why are you shouting for another man? Like, you take it out and bend over and take it then, bitch. Like, what the fuck? It's like, we have an individual mind here.
When I said, like, in 2005, he's got, like, an ongoing case of raping, right? And what he's done at the Miss Universe pageant. And then he had nothing to say. Simple as that.
All their role models, right, and all their revolutionaries are paedophiles. Like, that's who you've got to look up to, and that's what you accept. Like, you guys are crazy.
Can I just jump in, lovely? Can I just jump in?
No. Well, everybody who's new to my panel, please wait. I do call everybody one at a time, please. So still mute up, and I will get to you. So you see, we've got everybody else waiting. So please wait your turn. Thank you so much, Ohu. Really appreciate you, as usual.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'll speak to you again another time. Thank you. Okay, we've got Droog next, please. Droog, how are you?
Good morning.
Hello.
I don't
Everything
quite
is well in your world.
Yeah, all right, mate. I'm just sat in the local park walking my dogs. I don't agree with you. You know what? For the first time, I don't agree with your prompt.
Go on.
I don't think white people can finish, and I'm gonna base my argument on the fact that I watched the football last night, and all I saw was young black men setting up white men to finish, and they all fucking missed it. So we've got Declan Rice being tapped a ball by a young black man, and he fucking missed. You've got Declan Rice being crossed a ball by a young black man, and he fucking missed. You've got another young black man setting up Harry Kane, and he fucking missed an open goal. You know what? I don't think white men can finish, and that's part of the problem. And then the other thing you've got about white men and finishing is they're not having any kids, so they definitely can't finish in the bedroom either. Do you know what I mean?
You are always so funny, Drew. I love you. I think you're brilliant.
I think, like, on a serious note, we get a lot in this country, in the UK, about how our culture's being erased, right? And how British culture is being destroyed, and the finger is normally very squarely pointed at people like yourself, when the reality is that the American culture is what is destroying British culture right now. I mean, I'm literally on a daily basis correcting my children from speaking American English to speaking British English. They come downstairs after watching a couple of YouTube videos, and suddenly they're going on about trash cans and sidewalks. And I'm like, mate, that's not...
Someone's brought this up recently. I've seen this conversation, which is so interesting to me, because it's like, it's still your family. Like, there's European Americans are still your family.
Yeah, I think the issue is
this the diaspora war? You're having a diaspora war.
The problem is that American culture is so horrendously toxic. As that person earlier on pointed out about American consumerism, it's vile. It is. American employment laws, American gun laws, American health laws, American culture. I personally will reject American culture in this country because there's so many bad parts of it. And this rejection of American culture has been going on for a long time. There's been this battle between Europe and America over this island. And, you know, you look at the end of the Second World War and you had the Europeans and the French very, very resistant to American culture taking over the UK because they didn't want America to use the UK as a backdoor into Europe. And that's what America continued to do to this day. You've literally got American politicians and American tech oligarchs on social media and the TV every day gaslighting this country to believe that the main threat to our culture is black or brown people. And the reality is that it's American culture that's the main threat to British culture. We're being consumed.
Yes, this is absolutely true. It's absolutely true. But like I say, from a perspective of a black person, from African
absolutely.
descent, I'm just like, this is still your people. Like, they're still the same people. You still put them in the United States. They're still British descendant people, English descendant people, partly German, which again is where English people came from. German. It's the same thing. And you know, a lot of the politics anyway to do with the United States and the UK has always been closely linked. It's always been closely linked. Every sort of world conflict, you'll either have, you know, the UK will do something and the US will co-sign it, and vice versa.
And look at the messes at the messes that's got us into over the last 20, 30 years in illegal wars in the Middle East. We've followed America blindly into multiple wars, and all that's happened as a result is the death of young British men and women. And then the guy in charge of America has the temerity and the vile attitude to criticise the British Army for their contributions in Afghanistan. I mean, like, I don't know how British people can sit there and go, actually, you know what, I want Trump in this country. The guy's literally disrespecting our armed forces. They're literally disrespecting our dead children who fought in their phony oil wars, in their phony fucking...
you have more beef with the
colonialism wars. Please do wait. God's sword.
We fought for them in their.
Just 1 minute, Drew. Let me just explain to everybody else again that please do wait your turn to be called. Everybody goes one at a time, and we don't talk over each other. If you do unmute, you do say something, then you will. Okay, God's sword. Okay, God's sword. Goodbye. You didn't even listen to what I was saying.
Bless him. He's an American.
Yeah, Drew, do you want to finish up and then we'll move to the next
I'll just land.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yes.
I mean, for me, from where I come from, is that all that following America is doing is dragging this country down a pit. And the more that we continue to follow America down into the hellhole that country currently lives in, the worse it'll get.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Drew.
No worries. Enjoy the rest of your day, Foxy. Thank you.
And you too, Drew. Take care. You too. Okay, now we've got Arts Deals. Arts Deals, how are you? Hello, Arts Deals. I've asked you to unmute. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, there you
How
are.
you doing?
Hello
You all
there.
right?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Can I ask a question?
Can you answer my prompt first, and then you can ask me?
Yeah, well, I found your prompt really divisive because you're kind of creating division between, instead of creating unity between human beings, no matter what colors they are. Yeah.
How can anybody unite with the Neanderthal? Because these people have been the ones to divide the world. So how am I so powerful that I'm literally going to divide people? Like, what am I doing that the Neanderthal hasn't done for hundreds of years? Because it's about them.
Why?
It's literally them.
Because if anybody else, Whitey, would put the same...
No, you're not understanding. You're not understanding the point. Okay, let's say this again. Okay, in history, Arts Deals. When have white people ever united people? Where? Give me an event in history. Give me any event in history honest, where they've united. Where,
in history, everybody is being conquered.
No, I said, give me an event in history, because you brought up the division. Give me an event in history where they've managed to unite in some kind of way. Just give me any.
What they never did. Nobody ever.
Okay. So how am I adding anything to it then?
Just look at anybody in charge of a nation, no matter what color they are. I mean, let's take the African nation, for example.
No, don't talk about Africa. Don't talk about Africa because you don't know what's going on in Africa. So you only want me to agree with you? No, because you don't know what's going on in Africa. We've had 300,000 years, right, of history in my continent. 300,000 years where we did have minor conflicts, but we had unity. And even through to Asia as well, the same thing. We were talking about trades. We were talking about sharing of history, of culture. All of those things actually existed if you actually look back in history and saw it. But the problem is that when we have the Neanderthal who's coming to divide our continent, which they did into 54 countries, and then put in puppet governments, right? And white people we know are still at the top, regardless of whether you've got a black prime minister or whatever, there's always somebody white above them. We're very aware of this, very, very aware of this. And so we're trying to change our systems to make sure that anything that happens, if we have a black leader, they're not assassinated by the West. Because every single time we get somebody in power and we change the system, white people still come and kill us, right? Yeah. So it's not about there's everybody else is the same. They're not the same. Okay, we cannot unite with white people. It is for them to change, for them to learn and unite with us. They are the dividing ones. Me sitting on TikTok talking like this does nothing for them because this is in their nature. It is naturally in them. If I have this prompt or I don't have this prompt, they will still kill, they will still rape, they will still destroy countries, they will still come after me and you. I am here for my people, for the global majority, and I will never be silenced because you're afraid of the conversation.
I'm not afraid. If you let me talk, you're shutting me down because I don't agree with you.
Talk.
Right, okay. You see, the problem is, with what you put up there, is got nothing to do with humanity, has it? Because no matter what color you are, you know, it's human being that counts, yeah? But you're now creating the division. Let me give you an example, okay? Now, you got a lot of negative in yourself. You got no positive vibration, have you? You have no positive vibration. You're just creating division, okay? Let me tell you, my sister-in-law, do you want to hear it or? or you just want to laugh
I don't know
it
if
off?
I'm interested. But what's your
of course
ethnic
you're
background,
not.
please?
Of
Can I
course
ask
you're
the
not.
the ethnicity of your mother and father? What's your ethnic background, please? Can I have the ethnic background of your mother and father, please?
Me?
Art Steels. The ethnic background
Yes,
of your...
yes. I'm a Italian, okay? I'm a obviously whitey. But what I was going to say to you, for example, my sister-in-law is from Tanzania. She hasn't got one bone of hate against
I
white
see.
people.
You're playing the race card now.
No, it's not race card.
Person in my
I'm
family.
comparing her to you. You got absolutely no.
So you think? So
you're
you
dividing
think,
people.
You think that
you're not
every single
interested.
black woman, you want black
You're
women to
not
be submissive.
interested.
You
No,
want
no,
black
no,
women
no,
to be
no,
submissive. You
no.
want them to be like your
No, I
sister,
don't.
who's
You
literally with you, Italian colonizer as well. You want them to. You want us to all be like your sister-in-law
So
and
Africa
integrate
never
with the
colonized
Neanderthal.
anybody.
You are
Africa
a colonizer.
Yeah?
Clearly, you're
Never
Italy,
sold
you're
slaves,
Italian.
Africa, did
you're
they?
Italian. You're
Never
Italian.
sold their own
you're
slave,
Italian.
did they?
You're
Africa?
Italian.
You're so goody-goody, aren't you?
And there is so much
Look at
racism
you.
that lives within
Look
your
at you.
culture. Much
We'll
racism
never
that lives
unite.
within your culture.
We will never unite because you look at color.
Exactly.
You look at
will
colours.
Never, you will
You
never
are-
unite because you
you're
never
looking
have.
at colours,
You
not
never
individual people.
You never
Yeah?
have united.
You have no heart.
Italians,
at all.
guys.
Yeah?
Roman Empire, which I think is really interesting. Let's talk about
Yeah,
Roman Empire.
yeah,
for a little
Ottoman
bit, right?
Empire.
Roman
Every empire.
Actually,
Every
let's talk about
empire.
Roman Empire
How
for a
do-
little bit because the Roman Empire, right? Even they didn't divide people like color. Okay, so I'm talking about back way when before this art steel person come along, right? In the Roman Empire, they did not racially discriminate. They treat everybody as slaves, right? There was black slaves, there was slaves from Britain, there were slaves from Judea, which we know as Palestine, right? Slaves everywhere. They did not discriminate. But these new Italians, and especially Sicilians, anyone who comes from Sicily, are racist as fuck. They are so racist. If Italians actually went back to their Roman roots, they would actually be less discriminatory than they are now. And I've been out with Italians. I've been to Italy many times. I can talk about the people a lot, right? They don't want us to expose their own racism because they say that they go out with us. I've been out with an Italian guy. I've told the story. We're not racist until it comes to a situation when you step out and you call out racism. You see how defensive they get because they don't want you to see them for the racist that they are. So Art Deals, you've been dropped now. Art Deals. Right, we're now going to go to Amos, please. Amos Moose, how are you today?
I'm good. Take a breath if you want to.
Good.
That was a lot.
I don't need to. You don't need to tell me what to do, but you can continue.
Oh,
to
I wasn't
answer the
telling you
prompt,
what
please.
to do. You were just kind of having a back and forth there. So.
No, you're telling me what to do. Answer the prompt. I don't need a breath.
So
Answer
I'm,
the prompt, please. White people are finished. Are you going down with them?
No. That's kind of a broad statement. I come from immigrant Irish, Northern Irish family. My family saw obviously discrimination for sure. I hope you can agree with me that Irish people that came to New York City called us, dealt with discrimination. So I feel like on a certain level, I can have a conversation with you. I'm an American.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can cam up and show you what I look like if you want me to.
Don't need to.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of things that play into this. I think that what is your race? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm not the subject here. This is about white people.
I understand that. I mean, I'm YT. Are you black? Okay.
I'm not the subject.
I understand that. We're all the subject. We all live with each other,
No.
Okay.
Not
Whether
here.
you
This
think
is
you're
white people are finished.
whether you think you're superior to me or not, I mean that's subjective. But the thing is, you literally, when you say that I'm a black woman, you're doing what a white man told you
Amos,
to do.
the
You know that
subject
race
is
was created by white
people
men?
are
Answer my question,
finished.
please.
So, oh Lord have mercy. Seriously, these people.
Race
This says
was
white
created
people are
by
finished.
white men,
We're
and you're
very
following
aware
it,
that
darling.
race. We're very
that's
aware
right.
that race was created by white people.
Who
That's why the
created
prompt says
race?
white people. White people, we're very aware, but it says white people are finished by their own
Why do you keep
construct,
following this ideology?
By their own ideology, they are finished. You, as an Irish person, you were not even considered white. You weren't, because you
You're
know
right.
this. They didn't.
right, but-
they did not consider you as white. But what are you doing now? Are you now white yourself by coming at me as a black person?
No. And I'm trying to find. Hang on. I'm trying to find common ground with you. You're telling me that you're a black woman.
How is that finding common ground by making me the subject?
Because we've both.
How are you making me the subject?
Because we've both seen discrimination on some level.
Oh yeah,
Yes
Irish
or no?
discrimination was exactly the same as black discrimination.
I never
It was
said
really
that.
the
I
same,
said on
wasn't it?
some level.
Same.
Don't try. No, don't try to
answer
center
the
yourself.
prompt? Can you? Did you hear that,
centering
guys?
yourself.
Did you guys hear that? He brought me
Are
up
you
as the
about to get
conversation
triggered
then
and
said
mute
that
and
I'm
kick me?
He's
Can
a
I
white
speak?
man who knows how to gaslight as well.
Oh, now I'm a
he's gonna
white
be like
man.
white people.
Now I'm a
Yes,
white
you
man,
are, because
huh?
you're doing white behavior. You're doing white behavior. You're doing
No,
white
I don't-
behavior.
No, I don't. If
You're
a
doing
white
white
man
behavior.
told me, and a white man told me that I'm white, I don't agree to that. You agree to you're a black woman because a white man told you that.
I've
You understand
never said
that?
this. No, I never answered your question.
You're a
I
black
never
woman because
answered
a
your
white man
question.
told you you are. Yeah. And you know why you use it? Because it fits your reparations idea. Yeah. Mute me and kick.
Goodbye, Amos. Couldn't even answer the prompt and then said he was not going to subscribe to race. And he was acting like a white man. It's definitely white. Oh, the gaslighting. It's totally gaslighting, right? I'm not the prompt. I'm not the conversation. Why are you talking about me? White people are finished. White people are finished. This is my argument. Agree or disagree. But can you do with that without bringing up black or brown people? That's my question. Right, okay, we've got Lara next, please. Lara, how are you?
I am.
Hi there. Are you well?
Channel. I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm good,
Sorry,
thank
I have
you.
a
I'm
3-year-old
very well.
screaming in the background.
That's okay. Mother duties, I know they never end. Bless you. So what would you like to add to the topic today, please?
No, like I completely agree with you. I'm from Ireland. I originally came from Dublin. I live in Northern Ireland, and it's a very small minority of these people going around, the right wing people. Most Irish people, we're not racist, and I hate the narrative that they're putting out to the world, because that's not what we're like. Like, me and everybody I know would never be that way inclined at all. And I feel like a lot of them are being used as well, because they've never like had jobs, they've never had a point to their lives and stuff. So I think they're being used to push that propaganda. And I think us on the other side of things, there's far more of us, and I think if we use our people power, we can make things better.
Yeah.
You know,
I will say with respect, like, I mean, I've always been very pro-Irish, but I've also had to be corrected and say that actually there's a lot more racism in Ireland than we realise. I'm sure yourself, you would have noticed the difference anyway, now going from the Republic to Northern Ireland, which of course is very under the English mindset, which is based in racism. I'm sure you would have seen that one, and we've seen a lot of loyalists and nationalists in Northern Ireland. But I also talk to Irish people quite a lot on this platform, and black and brown people who have said to me many times, no, Fox, it's more racist than you think it is. And also us as black and brown people in England, we would have said, and we did say, that there was no racism in England. So we were gaslit to believe that there was no racism. But now when we're seeing it, we're like, hold on a minute. I was called this when I was 5 years old. Hold on a minute. I couldn't get that job when it was blah, blah, blah. So there's a difference between out and out racism, right? Like, you know, as we know, people protesting in the streets and smashing up shops or burning people out of their homes. And then there's other forms of racism, of course, as we know, you know, the more subtle things or the things that are actually in system, and people are more aware now about systemic racism. So I think it is more something for white people generally, if they don't think that they're racist or they don't see their country as racist, like, please talk to more black and brown people. Like, and the fact is that we are part of these conversations now. You might think it's a minority, but it still affects the majority of us.
I think a lot of it is jealousy as well. Like, I think white people are jealous of black people. Like, I think black people are more skilled, stronger, you know, mentally as well. Like, I think black people, you know, they seem a lot stronger. I'm not black, so I don't know, but
it's because when you have to go through so much resilience, you build your armor more and more. But and some of us are spiritual here. We know the DNA of our people, though. It's like we know that our stories live in us, right? They live in us. So any struggle that has been felt by our parents, our grandparents, grandparents, etc., it becomes our story. And then, of course, when we grow up in the white Western world, we're seeing some of the bullshit and we're like, okay, we have to deal with this now. And people like myself, who's actually been spiritually awakened for 2 years, my strength has gone to another level that I didn't even know that was in me, right? And because white people have never had to suffer ever, you know, not on the levels that we've had to suffer, they've never had to build up that level of resistance. That's why there is this crash down of the Anglo-Saxon and white Western Europeans very quickly. So Brian, please don't interrupt. Everybody else who was waiting on the panel, please wait your turn. If you do interrupt and talk over other people, you will be dropped, okay? Because everybody has their turn, everybody else is waiting patiently, and we'll bring you in one at a time. So yes, Lara, we are definitely made of stronger stuff.
Yeah. And I think I think a lot of Irish people, you know, there's parts of it where Irish people can see where you're coming from as well, because, you know, we grew up celebrating St. Patrick, right? And St. Patrick, you know, it was created like this big story, but what really happened was, you know, the Vatican came to Ireland and they got rid of all of our pagans, like all of our people that were healing people and you know, and then over time, then it, you know, England came and they took away our language and everything. So everything was.
That's where it all went wrong for everybody when the English came. Like, so and this is why I was.
We're learning to be ourselves again as well. You know.
Yeah.
And not have that. Like,
I talk a lot about Britain pre-Anglo-Saxon invasion, how you did have more of your traditions, more of your culture. Britain was not the United Kingdom. United Kingdom is something completely different. The British Empire is something completely different, where they dragged everybody on that island into their bullshit. That's exactly what happened. So, you know, and I'm very keen to see a united Ireland again. I hope I see it in my lifetime. I'm seeing more of this conversation now. But of course, there's a lot of work to do from the Republic to try and tell Northern Ireland, you know what, this is actually how we're supposed to be. Like, this is actually how we're supposed to be. If you get rid of that colonizer mindset, Ireland will be very, very strong as a country. It's already it's a very, very rich country anyway. It's like in the top 10. I can't remember where it is exactly. But, and of course, as we've seen the activism that comes from Ireland, right? You guys are very pro-Palestine. You are very much for anti-racism, etc. Things like that. That's what I see and that's what I respect.
My mother, she's actually Green Party. She's a politician, you know, so I grew up as an activist child.
Fantastic.
I remember my first protest was Jack Chirac, here we say, nuclear testing, no way. So it's definitely been ingrained in me, like, to fight for what we believe in. And, you know, I do believe black people are better.
There's a good question in the comment section. Alori, do you want to? I'm going to bring in Alori because she's asked a brilliant question in the comment section there now. Alori, how are you? You want to ask Lara your question?
Hi, yeah, I'm good. So, did you hear about Yves Sekila, Lara, the man who was unalived by security guards in Ireland? Did you hear about that?
I just heard about that before I came onto this live. That was the first video that I've seen, and that's why I followed and joined in.
Oh, so you hadn't heard about it prior to this live?
No, I originally came from Dublin, but Dublin got too much for me. So I moved to County Fermanagh. Also, my granddad was up here and he needed to be looked after. So I moved up to Fermanagh, and it's a really quiet part of Northern Ireland. It's very rural. So I actually hadn't heard about it.
Because this isn't what happened with Eve's isn't it's not an isolated event in Ireland. I don't really agree with you, Fox. I can't lie. I think Ireland is extremely racist. I think Ireland might be more racist, if not more racist than the UK. Definitely not as racist, because Eve's family is still looking for justice and nobody cares in Ireland. They don't care at all. Yeah. So yeah,
I want to clarify what I said. If you've heard me say it's better or worse, let me clarify then, because in England it is also 50-50, right? We see the anti-racist movements, but there is still a lot of anti-racism. I say the same as well for Ireland, but I do see some of the positive as well, like I say, with the Palestine supporting that and really making it true, especially in terms of the Prime Minister right now. So I think that there is a lot of racism still, but I think they're just slightly ahead in terms of their anti-racism.
I think a lot has to do with publicity as well, because we actually have had a lot of we've had protests on the other side, and we've had a lot more numbers in our protests on the other side. Our left-wing protests have been a lot more people. It's just quiet. We're not like going around doing.
You're Antifa. That's why you moved out of Dublin. You're a champagne socialist.
Brian, Neanderthal, you've been asked not to interrupt. Brian could not control himself, so he's been dropped.
Let's talk about a minority here, but they're publicised so much more. Do you know? Like, I live here all my life, like.
Let's talk about Yves Sakila, okay? So Yves Sakila, for those of you who do and don't know, on the 15th of May, he was killed in public broad daylight outside Arnott's department store in Dublin, Republic of Ireland. We have been fighting for justice for him ever since then. Unfortunately, what we've had is, because we know that white people are incredibly racist in the UK, is that they've managed to hold on to the fact that Henry Novak was killed by a brown guy. So that has been totally overshadowed, because they know that once we mobilise around Yves Sakila, it would be as big as Black Lives Matter was in 2020. And it is very important for people in Ireland, if they don't know the story, to actually go and look it up, because especially yourself, Lara, if you are part of your mother's in the Green Party, we need to hear from your own mother about this situation.
Oh, look her up. He's on TikTok, Donna Cooney. Look her up. She fights.
Yeah, but you have an MP in your house. You have an MP in your house. It is now your job. You have the information to go and research it.
I promise you, every day she is constantly.
Yes, but if I look her up though now, and she hasn't spoken about Yves Sakila, I've been voting for Green for over 10 years, okay? And I've always said that they're not pro-black. I've always said this. If I look up your mother as an MP and she's not spoken about Yves Sakila, then I know more about your mother, right? And I want you then to be different, because you're here, you've said that you've heard about it now. So you should be the person to look it up and be like, shit, this is a terrible situation.
100%.
What can I do now? What can I do now? Yeah, if I can finish, what can I do now to actually be like, right, this is a terrible situation. Who can I speak to? How can I use my platform, etc., etc., etc. So I'm glad that you brought up that conversation, Alori, because it's definitely a conversation anyway that some of us are having. I've spoken about it this week, that some of us have been interviewed for the Voice newspaper. And there's a guy called Richard Sudan who also works for the Independent, and constantly we are trying to look for updates every single day. We did have the Congolese embassy come to Ireland, to Republic of Ireland a few weeks ago to speak to the family. And again, it is a fight every single day. CCTV has finally been shown to some people. It's been shown to the family. And this is the problem, is that when you're a black and brown person, you don't get to defend yourself because white people always vilify you before you even do anything. The slandering that came out about Eve so quickly was insane. I did videos about it. I had bots. I had people saying, well, he's this and he's that, he's that, he's that. We had to fight for his name before we even tried to get justice. They're already trying to set us back so far. So I've had to fight on that, and a lot of us are also fighting that. And it's very frustrating because if you're a white person living in the United Kingdom, already they see you as an angel and you can't do anything wrong, especially if you're unalived by a brown guy. We've talked about Henry Novak a lot recently. Henry Novak instigated the situation, and people don't like hearing that. They don't like hearing that he was a bully. They don't like hearing that he got his phone. They don't like the fact that he was antagonizing a Sikh guy. They don't like hearing it. They don't like hearing that he was drunk, that he bumped into him and he started the whole fight and whole situation. They don't like that. If I highlight that, they get upset. They get upset. And it's like, okay, well, you talk about black and brown people, say that we brought it on ourselves. Well, let me ask you the same question. Did Henry? Did he? And you see how they crash out. It's the racism that lives within them that they can't seem to understand. So Lara, now that you know about Eves, I do hope that you use your platform, as I mentioned, and have the conversations within Ireland to understand that we're still fighting for black justice out here. Thank you so much, Lara. I'm going to now move to Alori now, please. Alori, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Fox. How are you?
I'm lovely, thank you, dear. I'm really lovely. So yes, what would you like to add, please?
Okay, first, let me just give a disclaimer. My internet, my internet is a bit shaky, so I might be a bit lagging or something. So just bear with me.
You are a little bit delayed.
And your home is
a bit
beautiful.
delayed, don't worry. Thank you.
And your home is beautiful. So I just want to say that yes, 110%. YT people are finished. They're even beyond finished. They're already the ship is, the Titanic is halfway through. There's no wood around. They have sunk. They're gone. They're finished. And I'll tell you exactly why they are finished, because I feel like your panel has actually demonstrated so beautifully why they are finished. You see how every single time they will come and interrupt, disturb, mannerless. You were dragged up. So many of you have no manners at all. The rest of the world, we were raised with manners. We were disciplined. We know how to respect ourselves. You people, you'll be, every opportunity you get, you'll be disturbing, disrupting. Mannerless human beings. Reason number one why you're finished. Second reason, we all know your lies. Those lies that you've been telling us, telling our ancestors, we know them now. The tactics that you've been using to gaslight and manipulate, we saw a lot of them on the panel today, trying to accuse the host of all the division caused in this world. It's the host's fault. Nah,
it's me. I did it by myself. Having a problem on TikTok.
You are the reason for all the problems in this world. You get this prompt right here is the reason for all the riots, everything. Yeah, we see through all your manipulation tactics, trying to shift the blame, and it's so tired. Even the ones of you that claim you're the best. Oh, I'm not racist. I have a sister-in-law in Tanzania. Like, bro, we know that's why you're finished. And the thing is, you can't change. None of you guys change. Like, we see your lies, we see the manipulation, and you double down on it. So when we're listening to you, we're just, oh, this again, literally. Then you now always will be saying, oh, get out of our country if you don't like it. Get out of our country if you don't like it. Guess what? You guys are in everybody's country. Right now, I'm in East Africa. East Africa is a multicultural country. There's blacks, whites, Asians, and guess what? The English are still here doing their oppressive bullshit. You're still carrying your stupid culture around, and you're gaining a reputation globally of how you act. And everybody is seeing it. The people in Africa who have never traveled are seeing the patterns and are thinking, hang on, these people are wicked. 10 years ago in my country, Nigeria, we still believed what the education told us about YT people, that they came to help, all the lies that they told us. Then Nigerians started to interact with YT people. And now you can't, you as a YT, you don't have no YT privilege like you used to have 10 years ago, because we can see it. So as you keep on exposing yourselves, as your mannerless barnyard behavior continues to go through the globe, you will continue to be sinking. And none of you will change, so nothing is helping you. And me, I'm not going with them. But all you BLK people who, want to tap dance, want to accommodate, want to shrink yourselves, you're going down with them, and I'm leaving you there too. That's what I wanted to say.
You. Well said, Olori. Well said. Yeah, we like that, like barnyard behaviour. That was a good one. Right, like we've talked about the coons and coconuts quite often, actually, about how they're still trying to tap dance and how they're still trying to, uphold white narcissism as if it's going to do them any favours. We've talked about the disappointment that we feel with people like David Lammy, with people like Suella Braverman, Priti Patel, etc., etc. Anyone black and brown who's in government. Like, it pissed me off the other day seeing, because I went to my neighbour's house. I don't normally watch BBC or anything. I don't have it. I never had it for years. But my neighbour here in the country that I moved to has paid for international television. So I went to her house. She had the resignation of Keir Starmer on the television. Front line, David Lammy, and another black woman. And I'm like, who are you? Who is that lady? I have no idea. There's another black lady. Does anyone know who this lady is? There's a black lady who was wearing like a floral dress, kind of like a bigger built lady, who was literally standing at the front, and a sea of white faces in the Labour Party. And I'm like, who are you? I don't like that. I don't like that. Who was she? I don't know. But yeah, it is very disappointing and very, we had somebody yesterday, actually, Alora, I don't know if you heard me say this, as a woman from Kenya came up talking about how it's the same situation, seeing white people in Kenya and just being like, why the fuck are you here? Like, you've told us to go back to our countries, we're trying to go there, and yet you're still here, you're still following us. You're following us. Like,
and
we know the answer is no.
The scary thing is, exactly, it's neo-colonization. Like, where I'm in Zanzibar and I'm with one of my friends, I think you know her, LB, but we're literally saying how the
you're there together,
the gentrification. Yeah, we're here together. Yeah, so the gentrification that's happening is literally like neo-colonization, because they're literally raising the prices of everything. They don't pay local people fairly. It's just, everybody is hungry now, and it's like, while a lot of BLK people in Africa still have this Stockholm syndrome type of thing going on, so it's really destructive. But the way that the multiculturalism is happening is not healthy at all. It's it reinforces like the problems that are there, and it's looking like it could get a lot worse, like politically, the way that people treat each other, So I don't know what's going to happen, because these guys are saying, oh yeah, go back to where you come from. But where we come from, YT people are here investing. They're not even here to play. They're here to invest and exploit. And then you have, the dumb YT people that are insulting Africa, while the wealthy people are investing and exploiting it still. So yeah, it's a bit of a sticky one. But me, I just make sure that I match energy. Like, as you treat me in your country is how I'm going to treat you in my country. And don't think that you get any type of, I don't think you're special. I don't think you're special. I know what you are. And majority of you YT people, you're mediocre, and you know it. You're extremely mediocre.
Energy matching is very important, especially because like energy in brown culture is not to be combative, it's not to be any of these things, but energy matching actually is what we need in this world to match these people. Just a couple of people I did just have to drop, Bollywood and Homs, by the way, because I am freeing up space again because there's more people who want to come up. So if you're here at the end, because I want to make sure that everybody gets their time, okay, on the panel. So if you're here at the end and then things start to die down, then yes, you can come back up on the panel. Energy matching is very important. We talked about actually just energy yesterday in the conversation about protecting your energy simultaneously. We're talking about things on a spiritual level, cleansing, incense, blah, 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 blah. But also as part of my journey is that I had to build up my confidence level enough to be able to energy match, because if people have got ADHD here or they're an overthinker, especially growing up in the white Western European world, if you're speaking truthfully, which is what we do as black and brown people, we talk truthfully. But because English people and let's say Anglo-Saxons are passive aggressive, they don't know how to talk directly. They gaslight you to make you think that you're the problem. So if you have that mindset to think, oh, well, do you know what, I'm not as confident, please, NHS therapy, I tell everybody to do this. NHS talking therapy will save your life. It's absolutely brilliant. So you see here, me now, if you asked me 2 or 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I wouldn't be this confident. Not at all. But you see me, I can now energy match, and their energy has no effect on mine whatsoever. So please get yourself up to that level, to be as strong as you know you can be.
Can I just say one thing?
You can be.
Exactly. I just want to say one thing and then I'll drop and leave for the panel. So YT people are finished. They are a sinking ship, and black people, you need to just stay in your worth, know your energy, do the work to know exactly who you are. Don't actually worry about racist people anymore. To be honest, in the next few years, a lot of them are going to breed themselves out. They don't like to procreate. The ones that do like to procreate with black people. So just black people need to focus on knowing who the hell they are. And when you are listening to white people, you will just, the ones that want to uphold the system of whiteness, you will just keep on hearing the same things over and over again, and that should validate you, because they literally copy and paste. They've got this white supremacist chip in their head, and their main aim is to just harm black people, basically. So that's why they were created,
I'm sure.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
literally sure. Thank you as well, Alori. Please enjoy your time in Tanzania. I really enjoy. I'm going to get LB now. I'm actually going to skip and go to LB so you guys can continue and go on your holiday, because you should be here with me. You should be enjoying.
We love that.
Your trip. So I'm going to skip everybody.
We've got the whole day. We're chilling.
I know,
okay,
but I literally go
we love black privilege.
That's the black privilege. I'm just going to bring up real quickly about the NHS talking therapies, because we see a few people here asking about it, and I'm so glad that some people are in therapy. Me myself, I'm back into it, and I've said this story many times. 2020, I was in it for 8 months. It blew my mind how it's managed to change my mindset so subtly. It's been incredible for me. I'm in it again now for some other things. I struggle with eating. Eating is a bit of a problem for me. But my mind is so fucking sharp now. It is so locked. Like you guys see, nobody can tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. I am the most powerful I've ever been. I am the most black that I've ever been. I am just like, and I want that for every single other black and brown person as well. Like, so please, NHS talking therapies, that's all you need to do. Just Google it, put it into your search engine. It will tell you your local GP and put you on a waiting list for actually having a conversation. It is very important. So LB, yes, please. What would you like to add, LB?
Bless you. I am so happy you talk about therapy and you integrate it into this discussion, because it's actually very, very important. One of my first lives, my topic was the mental effect of on black people, of whitey co-workers on black people, because people we talk about racism, but we rarely talk about the extent of the damage, the impact. Whether or not, well, I can vouch for every whitey person in my family. My auntie Anne loves black people. She used to cook chapatis in Africa, and we don't care that your auntie lived in Kenya. We don't care. It's always going to be impact over intent. any day. When it comes to harm, it is always impact over intent. So we don't care that you don't feel you're racist. We don't care that you don't think you see racism. It is always going to be the impact of it on black people as opposed to the intent on what your intentions are. That's why we say half of you don't even know that you're racist and you're doing it. That's why we're not bothering to talk to you about it. We are talking to our people, and you are finished. You are finished, you're tapped, you're finished, you're done out human being, as we'll say in South London. The reason why you're all done out is because your whole basis of your argument is go to your country, go back to where you came from. And guess what? The minute we get there, guess who we find on our freaking doorstep? So hello, get down. Do you want us to go home, or can we tell you to piss off and go home? What is it? Do you want us to go home so that we can see you there and raid our country, so we can see you there with your blonde braids? We don't want to do that. Stop trying to confuse. You see, the enemy tries to confuse the enemy. What you need to do is confuse the enemy back. You go home. We are going to infiltrate those spaces. Those spaces that you want to invest and infiltrate, we're going to push you back out. You cannot go to other people's countries, push the locals out, and dictate to them how to live. This is not Western Europe. This is Africa. The same way you go, and the lady that says she doesn't see racism in Northern Ireland. Hello? Do you know how many Nigerian restaurants open in Northern Ireland, and your whitey men use their jobless hours in the day to protest outside their restaurants to get their hard-earned businesses shut down? So A, what is it? This is why whitey people exist in the realm of confusion, because A, it's immigrants are coming here taking our jobs, blah, blah, blah. Or is it B, immigrants are coming here, they have no jobs, they're taking our benefits. Pick a struggle, white people. Pick a struggle. That's what I have to say. Yeah. Pick a reason for your hate. You're just hating, you're just shooting blacks. They don't even know why they hate. Pick a struggle. So yeah, they're done out, they're tapped. Don't engage with them, because when you engage with them, they're leeching on your energy. Racism needs your energy to participate in it. They need the energy of black women. And I'm going to end on this. The owner of Project 2025 went to uni for the sole purpose to study African American history, just to dismantle black women and fire over 800,000 black women since last year, since Trump came into power. He went to school just to study black people, to make them fail. So when you say you don't know what racism, we don't need to talk to you about it anymore. We're telling you we're done and we're fighting back. Swing first, ask questions later. And on that note, I'm done. Thank you, love.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is why I love black women. Laurie, LB, please. Truly, truly, truly. And generally, you know me, I love black men as well who come here. Anyone who comes, generally, you know, we're a big family here, right? We are a big family. Everybody is a family here except for the Neanderthal. And like you've seen, the Neanderthals who can't even control themselves and can't even engage in the conversation, can't even answer the prompt. They can't do any of that stuff. They cannot do it. They cannot do it. We're very aware now. We're very awake of what we are supposed to be doing, what we used to do before the colonizers came. You can't mess with the fire that we have now. You're trying, but you can't do it. All you can do is project and say, well, you lot are racist. You lot are racist. You're racist now. That's all you have. It's embarrassing. And you don't even have the ability to see how embarrassing you are, because you are, I like that phrase, LB in London, done out. Does it sound weird coming from me? You are done out, because I'm very colonized. You're done out. So, you know, it is really, really good that the global majority, black and brown people, we are all here together to actually have this platform here to know that we are on the right side. It is time now. We are re-empowering, we are recharging, and we can charge ourselves together, because that's what we are. We are the collective. We are the global majority. Never, ever, ever, ever forget that. People in the comment section are saying, let the old white man talk. This goes in order. There's no white privilege here. Everybody goes in order. LB I went to because she's on holiday, and that's it. Nobody has any kind of priority over anybody here. Okay, we've got Tora next, please. Tora, how are you?
Hi, yeah, I'm pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm lovely. Thank you so much for asking. Really appreciate you asking me that. So what would you like to add? This is the topic today. White people are finished. Are you going down with them, Tora?
I think white people are finished, and I completely agree with that. I am actually quite happy with that. I hope that's the right thing to say. I am a white person myself. And the reason why I would say that, because I'm an Australian, I live in Australia, and my biggest passion is climate change. And if you look at history, white people are the primary factors of climate change, like the cause of climate change. And if you don't mind, I got a question. If you don't mind.
Yeah, you can ask a question.
Yeah, so the most marginalised group in Australia is the Indigenous Australians that live out in the bush, and a lot of them are starving because of climate change. And when they do get food, climate change also impacts that, because the roads get flooded, and so they can't even get food and medical care and education as well. I am a white person. My question is, what can I do to impact those voices so the rest of the world knows about these people? Because I think when I try to educate.
My answer is probably not going to be the most practical and the most, well, I'm going to put it to you. Leave Australia. Move. Go back to your colonial home and do the work there. Because honestly, the lands needs to go back to the Indigenous people. It needs to go back to the people. And I've made it very, very clear that is exactly what needs to happen, especially because I'm assuming that you're going to come from the Anglo-Saxon line, and Anglo-Saxons in the UK are always saying, oh, well, you go back to where you come from. I say, well, why don't you go back to Germany? Because they're from Germany, right? And if you don't remember or don't know how you got to Australia, that is a big part of the story. So you can do all of those things from your ancestral land by saying, do you know what, we actually do need to go back and build up what we have and let people be as they were before you arrived. So that would be my answer.
Okay. Can I mention a book that I think would be a really good book for everyone to read?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so it's a good black colonizer. Sorry, I have a speech impediment, so I apologize, I said it wrong. Black Convict, How Slavery Shaped Australia. I recommend anyone in chat, on the panel, everything, to read that book. It's a very, it's a very, really, really good book. It was made in 2024 by a black African Australian talking about this sort of stuff. It's a really nice book.
Someone wants to know what it's called again, or do you want to write it in the comment section?
Yeah, I'll write in the chat. So that's all I have to say. Like, if that's, because even though I do agree with what you're saying, I think there's nuances to this conversation that I in that book would actually answer those nuances in those conversations, if that makes sense.
What do you mean, for me?
No, not for you, for everyone.
Oh, okay. All right then. As I say, it wouldn't be for me.
All right. No.
It would be. All right. Thank you so much, Tora. Thank you for those comments. Appreciate you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. We've got Angelo next, please. Angelo, how are you?
Yeah, hello.
Hello there. Hello.
Fine.
What would you like to add to the
What about
conversation? I'm good, thank you so much. So the conversation is, white people are finished. Are you going down with them, is the question.
You know, I think people nowadays are not aware of what's going on for real, because all this racism against white people is giving the future white people the chance to be untouchable. You know, when we will mechanize the work, no one will need any black people, no one will need brown people anymore. You know, the guys that will have higher IQ will dominate against the ones that doesn't. So that's the thing. This is your life. You know, when an old man is dying, before he's dying, he starts laughing hysterically. Before an old man dies, he starts laughing. He's having a couple of days where he's very happy. You are living those couple of days, guys. You are living those couple of days. And I know that black women, the most beautiful black women, are always the most racist, but they always love the white tea all over them. Why is that? Why do you love the white tea all over your body? host?
Listen.
Why do you love that? Are you jealous of white people? Would you like to have a mixed child? Would you like your lineage to be white because you're jealous of your skin of white people? Because I know you love white people. You love white people all over your body, huh? You love
chat,
that.
you see exactly. I don't even have to say anything because the chat here recognizes.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
And truly, all
you
of
are
the
not
words
aware
that
of what's
come out
going
of your
on in the
mouth,
world.
all of the words
You
that
are not
come out
aware
of
of
your mouth are
you are not
very,
aware
very, very
of what's
clear
going
to
on in the
us.
world. You're not aware of what's going on in the world.
I'm very aware.
No,
that's why I
the problem.
moved out of Europe. That's why I moved out
That's
of Europe,
the problem.
Angelo. I'm very aware.
Where do you live? Where do you live?
Very aware. I left you people to your
Where
own
do you live?
devices, so you can have your own crash out, like you're just doing.
Where do you live?
Right? The way that you talk.
I'm very
The way
chill.
that you talk is literally.
I'm
If you don't
chilling
have a
so
black or
much.
brown person to say that to, you say that to your own white people. So I
Where
removed
do you live?
myself from you people.
Where do
you're
you
not coming
live,
to my
dear?
house, boy. You're not.
Where
You're
do
not
you
coming
live,
to
dear?
my house. You're not coming to my
I will
house.
never.
You're not
I
coming.
will never.
I'm
Also,
chilling in my house.
I know you
I'm
will love
chilling
me
in
to come
my
somewhere.
house.
I know you will love
Guys,
me
you hear
to
that?
come somewhere. Yeah,
You hear
I
that,
know.
guys? He's
I
big
know,
mad
dear.
because a black woman rejected
But I'm
him.
sorry.
Because this is what
I'm
happens
sorry.
every
You
time.
rejected me.
It's
You rejected me.
A black woman.
How can you reject me? You didn't. By the way, do you understand what I mean?
I didn't give you an
understood what I
opportunity to be
said.
rejected. I
Do
did
you
not give you an
understood what I
opportunity
said?
to be rejected, sir. I did not give you an
Do you
opportunity to be
understand?
rejected.
Have you understood what I said, dear?
We all heard you. We all heard you, Angela.
Yeah, but have
Every
you
single one of us
understood?
here.
Have you
We
understood?
all heard you.
Have you
We heard
understood?
you.
That's the problem. A lot of people,
heard
everyone can hear. Everyone can hear. No one can understand. That's the problem.
Because you're
Do you hear
speaking
what
a
I'm
different
saying?
language.
Ooh.
You're speaking
I'm speaking a
a
different
language to the rest
Am
of us.
I speaking Neanderthal?
Yeah, a very different
Am
language.
I speaking Neanderthal?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
no problem. No problem. No problem.
And that's why we don't understand you. We can hear you, but we don't understand you. And we
I
see
know that's the
very
problem,
clearly
yeah.
every
That's the
single thing
problem.
that's come out of your mouth. Like I said, I didn't even have to say anything. Everybody in the comment section was already laughing because we could hear the Neanderthal
Yeah, I don't care.
loud
Because
and
listen,
clear.
in the next
I
20
don't need
years,
to listen, but you can talk.
keep laughing. Keep
There's
laughing.
nothing you
keep
can.
being
There's
happy.
nothing. We are laughing. That's the
I'm
thing.
telling
We
you.
are laughing
Yeah, but if you let
because
me
it's
speak,
truly
maybe.
what's happening.
Yeah.
You've just talked. You've just come here
What's
talking about
happening?
procreation
You don't
and stuff
believe
like
in
that. You're
that.
upset.
You
like
don't
I said,
believe
you're
in
upset
that.
no one wants to
You
procreate
don't
with
believe
you
in that.
anymore.
I can hear it in your
know
voice.
That
I can feel people's
the
soul.
projection, guys.
You don't believe in that. I can feel people's soul. Do you know that? You don't believe in that. You are very scared. That's the thing. I can feel
Narcissists are
it.
very
Look at your
interesting
shoulder. Look at
characters,
your
like
shoulder.
I said, is
Look
that
at your
they're literally
I can feel that,
psychopaths
baby.
have narcissistic and sociopathic
yeah? Are you
people as part of
mirroring?
their culture.
Are you
right?
mirroring?
And white
You're
men are
mirroring
very
right now.
upset
You know
that black women and brown women and
you're
white
mirroring.
women don't want to procreate them anymore because we know
Look at your body
masculinity is
language.
very much about procreation.
Look
It
at
is
your body
literally, what do we
language.
hear a lot from men? They always say, oh, you ask a man, why do you want to have a baby for? And they say, well, to carry on my bloodline, to carry on my name. So it's not actually because you want to bring some children into
I
the
know
world,
what you're
you want to
talking
love
about.
them, you want to nurture them.
Oh,
Any
I
of
know
that.
what
It's
you're
like,
talking
no,
about.
they need to continue my
I
surname.
know what
and
you're
as I've
talking
said in the
about.
last few days,
You're talking about your
Smiths
left
are
lung.
dying out, Browns
Yeah.
are dying out.
Are
all
you
of those people
talking
are
about that
literally dying
Italian
out.
man?
So,
Are you talking about that Italian man that you
yeah.
love so much?
Yeah.
Are you talking
So
about
it's
that
really
Italian man that you
interesting
love
when you
so
have
much?
people like that. So Angelo, of course, has been dropped because we've done with that conversation now. But this is the problem with the Neanderthal, is they cannot hear themselves because of their own narcissistic ego, their toxic ego. Thank you, Gerard. Always good to see you. And we're done with that one. They always expose themselves. Okay, now we've got Ola Tian. Sorry. Ola. Are you there, dear? I've asked you to unmute your microphone. Hello there. Are you well today?
Yeah, I am. And you?
Good. I am wonderful. Thank you so much. What would you like to add to the topic? The topic is white people are finished. Are you going down with them? That's my question.
Okay. So I'm African.
Which tribe?
Yoruba.
Which culture? Yoruba? My sister?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I only.
Sorry, I'm going to drop the person at the top because I couldn't mute you. When you come back up, please do mute your microphone a second. Whoever that was, Akhtari, I think your name was. We couldn't mute you and you had a lot of background noise, so please do try and come up on the panel again, please. Okay, continue, please.
Yeah, I only realized I was black when I came to the UK. I schooled in a school owned by a white woman in Nigeria. She left the school for the parents of the students that attend the school. The school was formerly for the colonial children. And when Nigeria gained her independence, she left Nigeria. So where the school was located, I actually had a lot of white people and Indians and all race from all across the world. They attended the school. So I could remember when I came to the UK, my flatmate asked me like, oh, how are there white people in Nigeria? And I was like, yeah, they are. And then she asked like, oh, do they refer to them as a minority? And then I was like, there is nothing like a minority identity in most of Africa, especially like Nigeria. I can't speak for South Africa, but in Western African countries, there is nothing like, oh, you're not you're Indian, you're a minority. You'd be surprised, a lot of Indian companies in Nigeria, and nobody refer to anybody as minority. You know what? If you're Nigerian, you're a Nigerian, regardless of your race. You're a Nigerian, and that's why like people like Donald Trump in-law, who were Lebanese, they are actually referred to as Nigerians because like most of them, they spend a whole ton of their life in Nigeria and they are striving in Lagos, in Kano State, you know, without being discriminated against. And also, I'd also like to touch on brown people being custodians of racism also, because the racism is not just directed towards one group of people. Brown people, for some reason, also have this expectation to prove that they can also be racist. So the whole context that I'm seeing from my own perspective of how I have studied like my environment is that they would want to prove like, oh, we can also be racist towards black people. Does that also like make us closer to the white proximity? I think that is how they view the whole thing. So for me, if I am speaking, I speak for myself as quote unquote a black African. I don't speak for brown people because I don't see that much energy coming from them. So whenever we are advocating for ourselves, I think we're doing ourselves a huge disservice by putting, you know, brown people into the struggles of black people. And yeah, I had a former colleague told me that, you know what, let's just be realistic. I don't think racism would ever end in our society. He's white. He said he doesn't think like racism would ever end in Europe or in the UK, you know, so like we just have to live with it. And I'm like, no, I don't agree. Racism can actually end if there is laws put in place and serious consequences. People who, you know, perpetrate this evil act are being faced with, you know, laws that would punish them for this type of act.
Yeah,
but no.
This is the thing, though, is that those of us who've grown up in the diaspora in an 87% white country, there are laws in place, but it still doesn't. Thank you. Exactly. Laws don't change the human nature. Racism is not going to go anywhere as long as white people are around. It is literally their baby. They nurture it. They love it. It's actually what unites them. Unfortunately, as we're seeing from the west to the very east of the world, is that they're literally saying, how racist can you be? You're in my club. That's literally what they're doing now. So I think what's really interesting, Paul, how you brought up brown people. I always say black and brown because we were never assign, like you've said, is like Nigerians are Nigerians, but I say black and brown for those people who don't think that they are black or they don't think they're brown. Like none of us should be skin colors. This is the whole point, right? We shouldn't be skin colors. Unfortunately, the white man did put us into these skin color groups. So when I say black and brown people, I mean anyone who's got the melanin and anyone who is actually on a decolonial journey, on an anti-racism journey. That's where I come from when I use it, because of course we still have black people who are anti-black. And we have brown people who are anti-black, and we have black people who are anti-brown, etc. Blah, 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 right? And when I say black and brown, it is for white people also to realise that black and brown people are the global majority. And for those people who are on there, also on the decolonial journey, right? Decolonisation journey, and their own anti-racism journey, that they're always going to uplift the global majority. So that's why I use those particular phrases. But it is very important what you have brought up about the anti-blackness from brown people. And it is really frustrating that in a world as beautifully diverse as it is, when the white man came along, they decided to bring up race, create race and racism through the British Empire, bring up racial hierarchy, putting black Africans and Aboriginals at the bottom, and then it went up and up and up until they put British at the top. But when they said British, they actually just mean English, anyone from Anglo-Saxon descent, because they still discriminated against the Irish, the Welsh, Scottish, kind of. Scottish is 50-50. But I think, again, like what we should be focusing on as the global majority is literally the unification of our own individual people. So black people need to unite, brown people need to unite, and however else people need to unite, you need to do that first. That is very important. That's how you get stronger. And then you talk about how you unite the global majority. That is very, very, very important, because the white people are not involved in this conversation whatsoever. People come in here telling me that I'm dividing them. I was like, yeah, no one wants to unite with the Neanderthal, because you proved that you can't unite with us. They already showed us, and they continue to show us that they cannot unite. They cannot do it at all. So they divided themselves. They are the ones who divided the world. They did it. They are the ones who drew the lines. They are the ones who created all these systems. They did it. Nothing that we can do in our conversation will ever divide them any further. It is about us and how we are working together, and having these conversations is very important. Thank you so much. Can I call you Ola? Or would you prefer
the last point I want to give is about anti-immigration, because I have seen that on how the politics over here plays out is that for a politician to be known, they must either be portraying racist stuff against black people or brown people, and just see the momentum that they gather and the amount of supporters and followers they gather. I am, as a black African, I honestly am not scared of, anti-immigration, because at the end of the day, it is a measure that is necessary for black people, because when you push black people out of your country, and then they would be faced to face their own economy, and it's also going to have effect, because most of the resources that is being imported from Africa would be would be affected. A lot of international trade would be affected by this act. So, but then it will also be beneficial for the people that are at the receiving end, because they would literally go back to their country to educate people about, why they shouldn't grow cash crops, for instance, why they shouldn't export lithium, copper, iron ores, all these things. So it's going to affect the world trade, but I don't think they're looking at it from this angle, that what are the effects, the long-term effects that it's going to have on the economy. For me, I don't have anything against any race, but I just think people need to wake up and see that the average everyday people we are not each other's enemy. Rather, the billionaires and the politicians that are making a lot of money are actually the ones causing this divide. Precisely. And I feel it is a coping mechanism for the white people, even if they don't want to accept it. This is just a coping mechanism for them to feel their lives are better than other people, while in reality it's not.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I want to pick up on the point about, because we talk about it sometimes, we need to talk about this more. Actually, on Saturdays, if you'd like to join, I do have a black only panel, and it is mainly about diaspora conversations such as this. So I do it at 9 a.m. GMT. So please do come along. And anybody else who is here who is black and identifies as black or African, I literally say African, Caribbean, diaspora, please come and join, because we talk about this. What was I going to say? I was going to say something about, I was basically going to say that because there are people that grew up in the Western world, such as myself, it is up to us to bring the knowledge back to the motherland and tell you guys what we can see out there, because we've literally been in the bubble of whiteness. We know how toxic it is. We know how it works. So our generation is literally going to come and fix it and help our people.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I think there should be like, honestly, for me, I'm thinking when I go back home, I'll start a non-governmental organization and also like advocate for the government to put a curriculum in place, because I wasn't taught about colonization. The way I was taught about colonization in social studies was like, oh, it wasn't a bad thing. They just like brushed through it. So I think like young Nigerians, young West Africans need to know about the effect of colonization and slavery, and also like how they are perceived across Africa, so they know what to expect and also how to carry themselves when they're trading with international people.
Yes, absolutely. Honestly, please do. It's needed. We need it. We need more people on the ground. We need people to, thank you for the gifts. Thank you. We need people who have the knowledge. And that's the thing. If we have the knowledge, why are you not sharing it? Like, if you know, share it. That's the whole point. That's why we've been blessed with this gift. Myself, people who here regularly know this, I've only been acquiring this knowledge for the last 2 years, ever since I was spiritually awakened. The story that lives within black people, African descent people, is that we know we have all of this inside us now. So it's our job to actually voice it and share it with the world so that other people can be awakened and can resonate with the story as well. So thank you so much for that. Really appreciate that. That was really lovely to talk to you, and I hope to talk to you again soon. Thank you. Okay, now we've got Kuya next, please. Kuya, how are you? Hello, I've asked you to meet. Your signal is not very good. Can you? Okay, yeah, try again now, yeah, because it was breaking up, but let's try. Kuya? Yeah, I think you just have a very big delay. Can you talk about the topic? The topic, yeah, there is a massive delay, I think, but the topic is white people are finished. Are you going down with them? That's the topic. Oh, I don't know if people can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes,
anyone hear?
I'm showing my video. Yes, madam.
Oh, okay. They can't hear you in the comment section, so I have to drop you because I can hear you, but nobody can hear you for some reason, and I don't know why. Or some people can, some people can't. Please try and go to a better signal area and maybe try again after. Okay, now we've got the old young man, please. The old young man, how are you? I think I need to unmute you. Hold on. Unmute. I've sent you an unmute request.
There we go. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. How are you?
Good morning. I've listened to your channel now with interest. The guy 2 or 3 back I found very irritating and annoying. And
which guy? Which guy was that?
Which guy was that? Asking for your address and everything.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a little bit insulted that you think that everyone's a Neanderthal because we're white.
Who said that? Who said that?
You have several times since I've been listening.
Who said all white people are Neanderthals? Who said that?
You did. You did.
No.
You said it three times. You counted it up.
I never say all white people are Neanderthals, but white people do have the Neanderthal gene. They came from Neanderthal.
We all did.
No, we didn't. Black people didn't. We don't have the Neanderthal gene.
We all did.
No, we did not. Sir, we did not.
I'm talking about race.
Sir, we did not.
The human race.
Sir, we did not come. Black people did not come. African people did not come from Neanderthal. Asian people do have a certain. Asian people also do have a certain percentage of Neanderthal, but black people do not have the Neanderthal. It is white people who are mostly Neanderthal, actually. Yeah.
Do you not think we should concentrate on the human race with it being 2026 and not?
Well, ask white people to do that then. Ask white people to concentrate on the human race because they're not doing it.
I look back at slavery and so on, which was the most awful time in the
Can you answer
world.
Can you answer the prompt? Right, the prompt says white people are finished. Are you going down with them? Are you going down with them, old man? Are you going down with them?
White people are not finished because I'm a forward thinker, and forward thinking has there's no room for racism. There's no room for bigotry. There's no room for
So
hatred.
are you willing to address the past, though? Are you willing to address the past to be able to move forward?
No, it's not my past. It's not my past.
There's the problem. There's the
Sorry,
problem, old man.
sister, may I ask you one question?
Let me go back.
Just if you ask it a bit later, because I'm gonna, I always go in order.
You ask him then, sister. Ask him where is he? Is he in Thailand?
I'm in Thailand.
Is he in Thailand? Somebody's just said he's in Thailand.
I am, yes.
What are you doing in Thailand, sir?
I live here with my wife and my 5 dogs.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were just doing what usually your people do is go there on holiday to abuse children.
He's got a Thai wife. Yeah, got a Thai wife probably. Have you got a Thai wife?
I wonder what the
Have you got a Thai wife?
On holiday.
He's literally called himself the old young man. So he's probably got a Thai wife that's probably a third of his age as well. We talked about this yesterday. We talked about yesterday.
See what I mean about stereotypes?
Okay, do you want to show her? Show her. Is she there? Show us your wife. Show us your wife. Let's put him on big screen. Let's put this old young man on big screen now. So let's see. Come on, Mr. Fum, show us. Show us this lady who's your 1 year younger wife. Let's see her. We all want to see her. Show us the wife. 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 What does she do? What does she do? She's a headmistress at school. What does she teach?
She teaches English and science.
How long have you lived there? How long have you lived there? 13 years. How's your Thai? How's your Thai?
Reasonable.
Can you teach us something today?
Well, what would you like to say? My pen right? It doesn't really matter.
Anything. Teach us something. Tell us to say hello, how are you? Teach us to say hello, how are you? Are you well?
A lady would say sawadee ka, a man would say sawadee krap. And how are you well? Sabaydi mai? How are you? My pen right? It doesn't really matter.
Tell us, how do you order something from a restaurant?
I go on Grab and type it in.
So that's the end of your language in Thai. You've lived there for 13 years and that's all you can speak?
No, it's not, no. Come out
Teach
here.
us some more.
Come out here.
Teach us some more.
And we'll teach you.
Teach us some more, Thai.
I don't need to teach you any more Thai.
Yes, you do, colonizer. Teach us some more. Teach us some more, colonizer.
We need to see how you assimilated to the culture over there.
Culture. Exactly.
Yeah.
How did
we
you
need to see that because that's what you guys expect from us. So we need to see how you do it because you guys should lead. You guys should lead by example. Surely you should lead by example.
Why are you bullying an old man online?
Just 1 minute. It doesn't matter how old he is.
We're questioning him, and if he doesn't
love, you're from Argentina.
I don't like piling on people, right? Let's not pile on to him. But we've already established now that he's clearly not not respecting. No, because you clearly don't respect the Thai culture, clearly, and your culture expects everybody to respect theirs, but you don't do it yourself. This is why I put you on the big screen. Okay, I've put you literally here because we're literally talking about how white people are finished, and you've put yourself as the old young man. To be honest with you, you're just an old man with an old mindset, and you're colonizing this next place. There's nothing young about your mindset, because if you were a young man, you would actually be understanding the global majority, and there's nothing that you're actually understanding about the global majority. All you're doing is exporting your bullshit, as you constantly do. You actually, nobody's shouting. Microaggressions are not welcome here, sir. Microaggressions are not welcome here, sir. If you think I'm shouting, maybe it's because of your own deafness in your own ear, and you've turned the volume up so you can hear. So you've been dropped, because we do not accept microaggressions here. Colonizers doing what colonizers do best. Right, we have Annie Says here, guys. Annie Says is here on the panel. Woo!
Oh, my beautiful sister.
How are you? Oh, I said Annie Says. We'll come to you later. Annie, we need to unmute you. Annie, you need to unmute first.
There we go. Good morning. Oh my God, you look so beautiful today. Mashallah.
Thank
you are literally glowing, girl. I love it.
Because I don't live in the UK.
I know. Listen, I lived abroad in Turkey for 7 years, and I was glowing. I was shining. I was living my best life. Came back here to do some extra studies, and COVID hit, and I'm stuck, but not for long. Because so I've decided to set up like a fundraiser. And basically, every time somebody tells me to deport, I'm going to ask them to put their money where their mouth is and at least donate a $5. Now, when I can get to about 100 grand, because I need to have a decent life abroad, like I'm not going to go and sleep on a beach. So once I get to 100 grand, I will self-deport. So I'm going to do this to see if they can actually put their money where their mouth is. And I get, I don't know, dozens and dozens of deportation messages and comments every day. So I think I can make a lot of money. What do you reckon?
Exactly. Yes, absolutely. Got to monetize this. Absolutely. Monetize it. It's important. You know, if they're telling us so often, so okay, let's turn this into some
Put
real
your money
points
where
that
your
we
mouth
can.
is. If you want me
because
gone,
nobody wants to live in the UK. Like I think everybody is very clear. And those people that say that they do want to, we know they're just doing it just to kind of be in denial, right? It's a massive denial. There's so much negative energy, and I'm talking even including the Anglo-Saxons, right? They know it's done. They know it's finished, but they'll still try to convince themselves it's the greatest country in the world. Like, why are you angry when you're saying it then?
I'm honest with
like,
you.
you're so angry.
If I'm honest with you, living abroad, there's the pros and the cons. You
Fox,
will
I want to
miss
say
things.
something.
1 minute, please don't interrupt. Bollywood, you've been on the panel. I'm going to go in order. I'll come to you when you're at the end.
No, I just want to say, Annie. No. I just want to say, Annie, like, I love her content. I follow her a lot, and what she posts about everything, she is doing an amazing job through her channel, and I love you lot. And she's one of my sisters as well, so I can't complain.
I think Bollywood got excited. We'll let him off for interrupting.
Yeah, exactly. I let him say that bit.
For that one. You're lucky. Normally, I don't allow anyone to interrupt me when I'm talking, so I kind of like that. But you know what, Fox, I have to say, I love what you do, and it's really difficult for especially female brown and black women to speak out against racism, because not only do we get threats online, for us that live in the UK, we get physical abuse as well. So I've been attacked by a far right frauditor, you know, the guys that go on YouTube and film us. So myself and another Pakistani Muslim woman were attacked by him, but we also ended up getting arrested for legally defending ourselves against a 6'4" drunk white man. Our charges got dropped, but so did his. And I just wanted to let the people at home know that what the woman that was with me has now found out, because she speaks out online against racism, and very, very clearly. And this is a Pakistani Muslim woman who assimilated so much into British culture that she even did seasons abroad in Magaluf and stuff like that. You couldn't get more assimilated as a brat. So she was in their world. But when her eyes opened to actually what was going on and she started to speak out, we've now found out that she's been put in far-right WhatsApp groups. There's discussions on how they're going to find her and what they're going to do to her. I don't want to say those kind of things online, but use your imagination. Even myself, I've been told in the last couple of days that I should swing from a rope. Okay, so this is what happens in the UK when you speak out against racism. And you need to understand that I will never say all white people, because there are white people with me that are doing the decolonization, and they're also working with the white community in their own communities to do the work, like Anti-Racist Mum. She tackles white people on their mindsets. Now, what's happening is, even though I'm saying I love Great Britain, this is the country of my birth, I assimilated, I was very English growing up, but I've always talked about race. So as soon as you talk about race, you're no longer the good immigrant. You become the bad immigrant. Doesn't matter how assimilated you are. This particular person is married to a white man. He doesn't believe she's racist, but yet they have created this narrative that now her life is in danger. Do you see? And for me, it's very important for us to use the correct language when we talk about racism. Racism is for white people because they carry institutionalized power. The education systems, the government, the media, the police, services, everything is in their power. Even if you are a poor white person, your problems in life are not based on the color of your skin. However, when we punch across to each other, you know, whether it's anti-blackness, anti-Arabness, whatever it is, when we punch across to each other, which we shouldn't be doing, that is prejudice, because we do not carry the power of colonizers. Now, for me, as a brown woman, I work to tackle anti-blackness in my community. I 100% know that it exists and it's wrong, and I understand where it comes from. It actually came from the colonizer. So, for example, when they colonized British India, they colonized our countries. They took our resources. They starved 10 million of us to death, but they never stole our bodies and took our bodies to other places and enslaved us. So there was always this fear that we would get enslaved. So with South Asians, they wanted to distance themselves from the black community and have that separation. We're not the same. Now, there's many of us working in the community to tackle that and to also remind the youngsters that in the 70s, when we had the National Front burning down homes of black people in Lewisham, brown people in Walthamstow, when they were beating our grandmothers, we unified together, even amongst religions which now have issues with each other. So we have the Muslim communities, the Christian community, Sikhs, brown, black, and white comrades like Blair Peach, who lost his life in the National Front protest. So we are back at that space. So many in the UK are going, oh, I don't know what happened to the UK. It's changed. It hasn't changed.
It hasn't changed.
It's gone back to exactly how it was. And the only difference is, for about 20 years, Edie and I became the thing. Let's talk about diversity. Let's put the Equality Act in. So racists were scared to speak out. They felt they were in the minority. Now, when they watch brown and black people being slaughtered in Palestine, in Congo, in Sudan, and nobody cares, when they watch the police and the government repress us, when the media, and it's not even just GB News, it's mainstream media, target us, then they think, oh, do you know what? I can go and set fire to their mosque. I can go run over a woman. I can do that to this man over here. And nobody cares. And that is where we are right now. We are at a point where those in power, institutional white racism, the government, the media, the police, have repressed us so badly that we are now seen as, we can just be, anything can happen to us and there will be no repercussions. We saw the police criminalize a young black boy whose mother attempted suicide and he turned up afterwards.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? We are also seeing Arabs being criminalized for saying the word intifada, which just means uprising in Arabic. So when we're talking about an uprising in our mother tongues, I have been arrested for using my mother tongue. I made a joke about a policeman's name. I changed it from his name to meaning someone with no morals in my language. And I was arrested twice for that. I was arrested for using the word coconut by 30 officers.
Yes.
Now, coconut is
Annie,
our word.
when that happened, when I saw that, I was mortified. And it was, but honestly, you look powerful as fuck. And it happened. Like, you look like such a baddie when that happened. It was amazing. But how many times have you been arrested now, Annie?
Okay, so I've had 5 arrests.
Do you know how many?
Yeah. 5 arrests and 1 voluntary interview, which was about the name thing again. Because can you imagine having white men sitting opposite you, telling you what words mean in your own language, but it's not what they mean? Like, that blew my mind. So with the coconut thing, we've already had a court case which said amongst brown and black people, it is satire. It is our word. If we want to call each other, I call myself a coconut sometimes, you know, right? I was over assimilated at one point, so I'm a bit of a coconut, right? So it's our thing. It's been proved by a court of law. These 30 police officers decide they want to arrest me because I'm such a criminal, parade me through South Bank. But the whole way through, I let everybody that was going past know about things like the Casey report, the Bard inquiry, that the police are institutionally racist. And the ironic thing is, in the video, I say, where are you going to take me? Charing Cross. Because at the time, Charing Cross had been exposed to be racist. And do you remember there were supporters of Tommy Ten Shekels? And they did take me there. They did actually take me there, and I got shouted at by some of the staff, you know. And so what I'm trying to say is we're at a point in England where racism that has always existed, has always festered. Remember, the same people that bashed my dad every day after school when he couldn't speak English, and my dad was bussed out. So there was a thing that they used to do to young brown and black kids. They would take you out of the community and bus you far away to a very white neighborhood so you couldn't stick together and form community. So my dad couldn't speak a word of English. He got sent to a school 2 hours away from his house where there were only 2 brown children, and every single day they bashed him after school. Now, he couldn't tell his dad because his dad was working 2 jobs just to survive. You know how it was for our elders. And it was a West Indian boy that was slightly older than my dad that lived across the road that had a gym in his garage. Then him and my dad started training. And one day, let's put it this way, my dad kicked the crap out of all the racists when he had his growth spurt, and things changed. And how I found out that story is one of those white kids that used to beat him up saw him on the street, was like, all right, Free, what's going on? And I was like, Dad, how do you know that man? He looks like a racist. And that's how the story came out. So we worked together in those days. If you look at the Southall Youth Movement, Monitoring Project, the Mangrove, I believe the Mangrove Group as well, they all worked together because they understood the biggest threat to our safety was white nationalistic racism. We have people in our community, brown and black people, saying, stop the immigration, stop the boats, these immigrants, they don't mix, they're not assimilated. But isn't that exactly the same reason they attacked us in the 70s, the 80s and the 90s?
Yes, that's the same messaging. It's always been since 1919. They've never changed their messaging. They've had 25 riots against black and brown people, whether it's on the streets or it's through the police. It's the same messaging. We don't want immigrants. We don't like immigrants. We don't like them because, again, as we know, educated people know here, racism is built into English culture, and they've made it become British culture. We cannot deny this. We need to keep talking about this and accepting everything that's been happening. And it's always the cycle. And that's, like we say, as long as white people are around, racism is not going to go anywhere. This is literally white people's time themselves to educate themselves and to call out their Neanderthal counterparts. It is their job. We've already been doing it, especially now. But as black and brown people, we have the platforms. Like Annie is always on here fighting so freaking hard, putting her life on the line, literally, to discuss these things, to be so pro-humanity. And that's exactly what Annie is. If you guys,
Sorry,
some
can
of
I
you
just
guys, if
answer
you don't
somebody
know,
in the comments? Somebody in the
just
comments
1 minute.
said,
If it, 1 minute, Annie. 1 minute, Annie, because I'm going to promote you.
Thank you. Sorry,
For
because I
those
wanted
of you
to,
who
but please
don't
remind me
know-
to come back to this point afterwards. Please remind me.
Yes, I will remind you. Those of you who don't know Annie, where have you been? Annie is absolutely fantastic on here. Like I say, she fights every single day. She has literally been in and out of court cases all of the time. She's very pro-Palestinian. She's even had Gal Gadot in the court, if you guys know Zionist Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman Gal Gadot. I remember, actually, I think it was the first time I saw Annie was literally when you were at her filming site being like, down, like, no, don't film him.
She won't come back to the UK now. She hates
Yeah, good. She's not welcome. She's not welcome. So please do follow Annie. She's absolutely fantastic. If you are really getting to know what activism looks like or should look like, Annie is the perfect example of that. Yes. So please continue, Annie. Bring up the point that you wanted to
I just wanted to bring up a point because it's very, very interesting that someone said that, because there's been a manipulation of my name. So Fox, you know that I believe in unity of the global south. You know, I'm against oppression, and I call out all of these systems. Now, there is a guy online called Zonji, and somebody mentioned him in the comments.
Oh, not him.
Yeah, so I do target Zonji when I see him. And the reason that I target him is I take it very personal when people from the global south attack others from the global south. Now, Zonji came to the UK from Sudan. That is a country that I fight for. You know, we need to boycott the UAE and Dubai, by the way, guys. They are funding what's happening in Sudan right now to steal Sudanese gold. Now, he came here as a refugee, but he supports the 10 shekels, you know, Tommy. He supports him. He says the most derogatory things about brown and black people. So so I've had some interactions with him online where he said some really awful things, and he's accused me of being the T word. Okay. So when I see him in public, which I do, I like to film him and I call him out. Now, he manipulated a video where I was going, oi, oi, savaloy, which is what I say to the racists. And he froze it there. And he put it out that I was doing monkey signals at him and that I was anti-black. Now, anyone that hasn't seen my content and that doesn't know me and doesn't really understand who he is will jump on the bandwagon, which is what someone in the comment section did. So I felt that I needed to clear that up. I will call out any brown or black person from our communities that align with the far right and meter out violence to our communities, even if it's not violence at me. Let's say, for example, your violence is directed at the black community or your violence is directed at the Sikh community. I'm going to speak up, because that's what we do. Even if someone doesn't want to align with me, I will still stand 10 toes down with them against institutionalized white racism, because it's very, very powerful. It's led to me being suspended from my previous job. It's led to me being arrested. It's led to me not being protected by the police when my life is in danger, but those that attack me are protected. So we have to take a moment and drop all the jokes. You know, I know we can take the mick and say oi, oi, savaloy and all of that, but in seriousness, it's really dangerous in the UK now. We've seen brown women being raped. We've seen buildings being set on fire. We've seen violence. We've seen people feeling so emboldened. I have never heard the P word so much in all my life since I was a child growing up in the early 80s. So what I will say right now is everybody get serious. Everybody educate yourself, number one. Please go back to reading books and having conversations with your elders as well. We cannot fight this just on the streets. We've got to fight it legally, academically, online, in every which way and form that we can.
We talk about spirituality as well here. It's literally physically, intellectually, spiritually, any way that you can think of. Like even here online, we are fighting them here. You don't necessarily have to be on the ground. It is, it's a battle on many different levels. And honestly, we can fight racism online line with our voices. We actually had this conversation just yesterday about how I can literally challenge the racism, and they always run away. They are very scared people. This is the thing where people need to understand is that, yes, I know as the global majority, we are a bit afraid of the right, but let me tell you something. They're weak ass bitches. They're really so fucking weak as people.
They're actually afraid
They're
of us.
afraid of us. They're afraid of us, and that's why we have to get our confidence levels up. That's why we have to get our energy level up. Because as soon as you start talking to them, they are the weakest freaking people, and we can't give our power to them. We need to reserve it for ourselves.
If they're so scared of me, look at me. I'm 5'4". I'm a middle-aged Asian auntie. I've got health issues. Half the time I'm like, oh. And they're so intimidated by me that they talk about me every day online. So if they're so intimidated by little old me, imagine what they'll be intimidated when people actually come together, educate themselves, make their bodies and their minds healthier, and push back. I know what you said about therapy earlier. I just wanted to make a comment on that. I agree 100%. Initially, when I tried therapy first, they gave me a white middle-aged female therapist. I managed 2 sessions and I was done. I was like, why do I feel like I'm educating you when I'm trying to get therapy? You can never understand what I'm saying. So the second time I tried to get therapy, and it was through Talking Therapies, I specifically requested a woman who was brown or black or Muslim. I said, I will not talk to a man, and I do not want to talk to even a white Muslim woman. I need to talk to a brown or black woman. And I had a therapist, and she's originally from the West Indies, and she got it. And, you know, the look on her face when I said certain things. And I think I had a whole session on white fragility with her, and she was and then from there, I've moved on to a specialist therapy service that has just come out, where it's Muslim therapists for Muslims that have been criminalized and suppressed by either the police, the prison system, or the judicial system. So it's people like me who are pressed by the police regularly, and I can speak to my therapist, and he understands not only what I go through as a brown person, but also as a Muslim. So I think it's very important that we reach out to therapists within our communities to also work with our community specifically, because a white person is not going to understand my struggle, and then I have to educate you. So all of my time is spent on toil and labor when I should be receiving help. And that's what keeps happening. The toil and labor goes on our shoulders. Even now, what we're doing, the toil and labor is on our shoulders. Again, Fox, why are we always having to educate and speak? Google is free. Your hands work, and if your hands don't work, you can use voice activated research.
But that's the thing, though, and this is how we reserve our energy, because I actually don't educate, and I just talk for our people. Like when white people come in and they start crashing out, I say, go to my page, go to Google, go do something else. I don't allow them to take my energy. And this is like, again, this spiritual conversation is the energy conversation about reserving it. And there's a few people on here that I always get upset at, because they're going to these racist lives and spending so much time in there fighting racists. Why?
No, I don't platform
fighting the racists
or the others.
Yes.
I don't platform them. I don't entertain them. I don't talk to them. I don't want to interview them. I don't want to have a conversation with them. And that is what triggers them. That is the trigger.
Yes.
So the point is, if they want to do the work and watch your live and learn, that's a good thing. But when I talk, I'm talking to my people. I'm talking to the global south. I'm talking to any white person that wants to do the work, that is willing to decolonize. And even amongst our white allies, sometimes I have to say, look, stop that thing you just did there. Look at what you just did or what you just said. Now work on it. So I'm not even going to tell them what they need to do. I'm like, stop. Did you hear yourself? Go away and do the work. And thankfully, because of the space I'm in, half of them do the work. The other half, even in a left-leaning space where your allies are supposed to have done the work, you will still find so much racism. You will still find.
I would like to. If you're so willing, you and I do some joint lives. I would really like that, Annie, to talk more because you know we've had some, of course, conversations. I know that the first time we really connected was over the Black and South Asian division, right? And I say in quotes because I know that there are ways that we're supposed to be united again. And I would really like to do more about that because again it is about the global south. It is about us and recognizing every single time that the white Neanderthal has always been the problem for us, you know, and we can all still recognize that there are problems within our community, in the Black community. We recognize, and I know you recognize there are as well in your community, but it's literally how we deal with that, how we discuss it and how we move past it, because we need to fucking move past it. It's so important for us, absolutely important for us. So thank you so much, Annie. Please stick on the panel.
I've actually got to go do work now, and I've absolutely
you're a busy lady.
Back to dismantling the racist system. Let's go. But thank you so much for having me, and let's talk. Let's do this, because I think through example, through people watching dialogue, through people understanding, and especially the new generation that don't really understand what our elders did, I think it's important to bring that back up. So let's talk. I love it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That'll be great. So everybody, if you don't know how to follow, please click Annie's box here right now. Okay, so everybody, we're going to click together. Even I'm going to do it already. I follow her already.
And I'm going to go deal with some oils, Davalois.
And then click follow. You see here, it should say follow as well on the box. Okay, so everybody click her face and click follow as well, please.
Thank you.
Do that
Take
now.
care, Fox. Take care.
Thank you, Annie. Thank you. Thank you, love. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now we've got Marlo, please. Marlo, how are you, Marlo?
Hi, good morning.
Hello.
I don't know, can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you great.
Okay, and so good morning to yourself, looking absolutely beautiful. But also good morning to your guests, those remaining in the panel area. And with regards to your question, I'm literally trembling as I want to address this, because I can address it in a way that it's affected me personally. I think they are finished if they don't take time to introspect, look back on history, just as the Germans have done. They've literally educated the future generation so they don't repeat what happened in the past. I'm not going down with that ship, even though I have their DNA coursing through my body. Because, and why I say that, Fox, and your panel, is that as a child, I have, on my maternal side, white, English and Scottish heritage. She's mixed heritage, born in Jamaica. And for the life of me, I thought it's just me facing, oh, you're the black one. Why did you come out so black? Because my mom was the lightest one for them, right? And even my grandmother had internal racism. She told her children, the only thing should be black in my household is me and my Dutch pots, right? So even when I spoke about this later, when I found out my cousins in Canada faced the same thing, any of us who are of the darker shade and thicker texture here, so we'd be judged on our hair. So this is coming from your grandmother and your grandfather, you know. And even my mother could not understand it, saying, oh no, it's because he's a bit old. And I said, Mom, but that appears to be innate. How does a grandfather not like one of his grandchild because they're black? And I saw it, Fox, my lighter siblings, right, got money, got called, oh, ready bo, oh, this one, or, you know, affectionate terms, whereas I've been to events where I've been termed, oh, she's a black one, you know, oh, she's a little, I'm short as well, the little black one.
So this is and Mimi's making some good points. Apologies to interrupt you, but it's literally colorism and anti-blackness. It wouldn't be racism. So I'm glad you picked that up, Mimi. It is important to use the correct terms, because of course we know white people like to weaponize the terms racism, something that they created and they used to oppress us. Right, that is what racism is. It's by white people, but internalized in the black community, it would be colorism, whoever's light or dark. And of course that comes from colonization still. So yeah, I think
to the racism, I've actually faced it coming here to study. Remember, I have their DNA, and also Jamaicans are British subjects because my mom is considered British and she has the lineage anyways. And we were invited over post-World War from the islands. Oh, come help Mother England. So it wasn't even Mama Africa, Your English subjects will welcome you. And people were, because I worked in finance, I've worked in IT, and I've worked in health, and I face it at every level. In finance, I answered a question at one of their parties, end of year party. It was a math question. And the man, oh, how did you get that? I thought, it's maths. Yeah, but then I was really young. I was 19 and I didn't get it. It's only as I age, I realize it's happening. In health, I'm more qualified. They bring in someone from their background, doesn't know anything. They didn't even advertise the post. And some of the doctors kept coming to me for reports. And I said, oh no, please go and ask her. Because at that stage, I thought, I ain't doing her work. She left within 2 months because she's coming and taking a post she's not trained for. And then you as the Black person have to carry that load or coming to me, oh, can you do this for me? Or they leave you out of emails. They take things away from you. And in
it's
IT,
always the jealousy, and it is the and as part of colonization and part of the fact that they knew that we were the smart ones, they always just projected their own stupidity, and that's why they always get surprised, like, oh, I can't believe you got that answer, I can't believe you knew that answer. Like, well, yes, because we're inherently intelligent, because they're not. Education literally came from our lands. They came from our lands. I'm just going to start whizzing through the panel now a little bit now, guys, because my battery is running really low and I want to finish up. I know I've got more people who want to come up to the panel, but I am just going to go
quickly and then
really,
I'll go.
Yes,
because I want other people. But why I joined today, because I do hop in from time to time. My 14-year-old daughter, walking with her friend last week, this English person, has his dog. She tried to walk the other side. Oh, he called her, I don't know if I can say, D-I-C-K head. He's already eaten. Just because the child is walking out of the path of the dog. My child came home to me and said, Mom, I don't understand this grown man's attitude. And I had to explain to her, one, it's football season. And he also had alcohol with him early in the day. And I'm thinking, why do we have to train people about other people's behavior? And it's, like I said, it's innate. If my own grandparents can be that way to innocent children, they are going down. And I'm not going down with them. I think that even in IT, it happened. I was told I was more qualified than the manager. And at that stage, when I came here to study, I just had CXC, which is equivalent to GCSE, right? And my colleague who was Nigerian, who was under him, had his degree in IT. He eventually left. So we are both under someone. I've just got my GCSEs because I'm new to the country, studying and working. My colleague has his degree, but he's under someone who's not even got basic information. So they need to look at other countries and address it so they can move
they're
forward.
Not going
Otherwise,
to. Yeah, they're not
going
going
down,
to. That's they are going down. This is all part of it. This is a spiritual thing, as I brought up quite a lot. It is for Black and brown people to be empowered again, to know how good we are, to know that everything that's happened to us is to build us to a next level of strength. It was kind of like a little experiment, a test from the universe to try something differently. Of course, they fucked it up. White people also, it is also them to actually learn about themselves, and they're not doing it. They've been told that they're supposed to be doing it. They're not doing it enough, and it is enough. We've finished now. This is over. And like I said, if you're not willing to decolonize yourself, then you are going down with them. This is literally how it's going to work. If you are not anti-racist, if you are not if you're not doing the work, you're going to go down with the ship with the white people, because it's done. It's done. White people are finished. Are you going down with them? So if you're learning and you're growing and you're teaching your children, which is very important, you're teaching your next generation what racism looks like, what discrimination looks like in all of its forms, even in its subtleties, that means you're actually doing the work, and the universe will see that. Thank you so much, Marlo. Like, you'll see me, I'm going to start speeding through everybody
You're
now.
welcome.
Thank you so
And
much,
thank you.
Marlo.
Just like-
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, I did just drop you mid-sentence. I'm sorry, I'm whizzing now. Minaj now, how are you, Minaj?
Hi, Foxy.
My battery is running out.
Great. Yeah, I will be very, very quick.
Okay.
I think the
Yes, thank
time to educate, because I'm talking, within quotation, the reform followers, reform supporters, predominantly white. The time to educate them is past now. So what I think, I'm just here to share a couple of very quick examples. I think the time is now to, whenever you see a migrant worker working on a Sunday morning, and this happened to me actually. I recorded someone and then I took their consent, and I saw a few Afghani builders on a Sunday winter morning repairing a wall. So I actually filmed them, and I went and I spoke. Yeah, they were legal, of course. And they said, yeah, we have to work hard to send money back. My challenge is to the reform workers, will you get up in the morning, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock on a winter morning, and go and repair wall and do the building work? So
no, this is historical. They've always been like this. Is now we call them reformers, but all they are is just English people. That's why they've had to import immigrants for hundreds of years, because they've grown up with this entitlement, thinking that everybody else is going to do the work for them and they're going to reap the benefits. So, because what's the thing that English people always say to us? Well, you've always benefited from the country. Oh, we've benefited from our own work that we've done in the country. It's nothing to do with the country. We did the work. We built up all the systems. We did that because you lot after the Second World War, you were laying up in hospital. That's why you invited us to come and do all these things and make the country as beautiful as it is, while trying to tell us that we don't longer belong in the country, because that's what it is now. They've realised that they've used us enough now. And so now they want to reap all the benefits by themselves without us around, but that's never going to fucking happen.
Yeah,
right, got another point to make, Minaj?
Yeah, just very quickly. And if you drive around on a winter morning and you see a Kurdish guy doing the car wash, make a video, educate these people. Will you come out early in the morning on a Sunday, winter morning, and wash the car?
Thank you, you just said that. Thank you so much. Thank you. You said that. We'll repeat it. Right. Okay. Next to Baldhead now. Baldhead, how are you? Baldhead.
How y'all do? You doing okay?
Good, thank you. Right, what's your point? Quickly, please.
Yeah, quickly. All right, white people
let's go. Come on.
Yeah, so white people are finished, right? And are we going down with them? To say that, listen, I've already left Babylon. I left it almost 24 years ago.
Babylon.
And I'm in Asia. Yeah, I'm a practitioner of Southeast Asian martial arts. I'm also a so-called entrepreneur and drone pilot and a teacher. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you're right, because look, right, I've always been taught knowledge is power. Yeah.
Yes.
And that knowledge that you gain and learn, right, no one can take it away from you. Right. And see, I was always told the enemy of my enemy is still my enemy because we don't got no friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've instilled that within my children and my children's children. See? Mm-hmm. Yes, of course. All right. All right. So they're going to learn, right? Because if you know their history, right, they came from nothing, they had nothing. Yeah. The Romans came, conquered them, right? And when Rome fell, what happened to Britain? Britain fell into disrepair. Everything was left in ruin because they didn't have the so-called knowledge, yeah, to build it up for themselves, yeah. And then the Saxons, the Normans, the Vikings, right, and the Germans came along, right, okay, invaded them, and they were still going on with their brutality towards each other, yeah, right. And then they spread it across Europe, right, and then next week, you know, oh, let's get together and fight the so-called Islam, right? And it was the Islam people them that bigged them up anyway and taught them the knowledge that they know today. Because without us, they don't know them. Yeah? But then they turn around and say, try and spread it around the world. Say, no, we are the so-called civilized ones. We are the ones who are innovators and builders, and we build civilizations.
Yeah,
No,
they
no,
stole
Mikey.
everything.
All you
They
ever did was
stole
rob and
everything.
steal,
And then
or as Bob
plagiarize it
Marley
and
would
said that
say.
they come up with everything when they didn't. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. And as Bob Marley said so eloquently, burning and a looting tonight. That's all the people them do. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna land my plane and let you get on to the other
Yeah.
people. I will keep. I've already. I've started following you. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Thank
Because I saw
you.
your beautiful, beautiful. Content on Instagram. Yeah, so I started following you, right?
On
So whenever
Instagram?
time you
I'm
need
not on
backup, you know what I mean?
Instagram. Someone, I'm not even on
Is it
Instagram. Someone
Instagram?
shared my stuff. Brilliant. I'm only on here.
Yeah, I think somebody. Yeah, I think somebody might have shared your stuff. Then, yeah, that's it. All right, then
Excellent.
we got to start following
Brilliant.
you. Yeah. So anytime you got anything
Brilliant.
on, you know what I mean, just give me a shout out, and I will be there for you, right? And I will back you up to the hilt. You know what I mean? Like we're
Thank
supposed to
you.
do for
Thank
each
you,
other.
brother.
You know, because you know. Babylon a fall,
Family. That's
and
how
if you
it's supposed to
stay in the
work.
Babylon, boy,
That's it. That's
and if you're
it.
staying
Like
in the
I always
Babylon,
say
you
to
all
the
got
people
stuff
here,
up.
you'll go down. Exactly. That's why you've left. I left 5 years ago. People, if you're gonna stay, you have to stay and fight. That's literally how it's gonna work. You leave or you
Yeah,
stay and fight.
exactly.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a great
I
day.
then.
Thank you. Thank you. Right, we've got Ghost now. Apologies for you guys who've just been up there. I'm cutting you off mid-conversation. I don't normally do this, but I'm racing against my battery. Right, Ghost, how are you, Ghost?
Hello, how are you? I'm good, thank you. Well,
I'm good, thank you. What would you like to add?
I come up disagreeing, but as I sat here listening to you live, I can actually agree with most of the stuff you have said. I'm Irish, if you can't already tell by my accent. So, with
Yeah.
we have letters. I think I'm 98% Irish. I've done DNA tests and stuff like that, so I'm not a Saxon or Anglo-Saxon or anything like that. But
Good.
just a quick one. In what way do you think the people are going down? Like, would it be due to colonization, or would it be due to like some sort of war that could
Have you not
potentially
been
happen?
hearing? Oh, okay. So maybe you haven't heard this part of the conversation. It's naturally. So things like birth rates, we know, are declining. Economy is imploding. You know, capitalism was born in the UK, so people can't afford to even live there, right? So homelessness is increasing. Also, there is, of course, in terms of birth rates falling, birth rates are increasing in other lands, and immigration is, of course, still happening in the UK. It is predicted that in 2050, the white population is going to be down to 57%. So it is literally naturally happening. It's not by genocides or ethnic cleansing like these Neanderthals think so, because they're so paranoid in their mind, because they ethnically cleansed and they genocided other people. They think that's what's happening to them too. It is their own projection, and that's why they fear immigrants so much. They fear the same thing happening to them, which has got no chance of happening. It's never happened in history, and it's not going to happen now. So it is their own crash out, basically. And I've talked about natural disasters as well. So those people who have a bit more money, who are white, you'll see they're dying in like cave diving accidents. You know, the sun, of course, is getting hotter in the UK, right? People are crisping up now. You're going to have people dying from heat stroke, people going in the sea and drowning. It's all that kind of stuff, the natural things that are happening. I even talk about over in Australia. You don't really hear about Aboriginal people getting killed by snakes and crocodiles and shit. It's always white people. They don't know how to be compatible with nature and compatible with the land. That's what's actually doing it to them, natural things. But if you are on a decolonization journey and you're learning history and you are actually wanting to be part of the global majority, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. That's all it is. But we have too many people crashing out here saying remigration and where you're going home. You ain't sending no one nowhere. They ain't sending no one nowhere. These are the people that are gonna go and leave the earth back to actually who birthed it, which is black and brown people. Yeah.
I can see where it comes. Well, I have nothing to argue with. You're bang on right there.
Thank you very much, Ghost. Appreciate
No
the
problem.
conversation.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you. Right, now we're going to Inti. Inti, my
All right,
sister.
very quickly, my sister. Lovely to see you as always. And I have to say, I'm so happy that my beautiful sister Annie came through. And I think you two joining together is going to be the best thing that's happened to us, women in particular, because I feel that it's us women that will have to lead this. We will lead. The men will follow us, and the men will be there to back us up. But we know that most of the time it is the women that lead these sort of these kind of things. Yes, there's been so many women throughout history that have led men into battle, and we do have that power. Do not be fooled, ladies. We are stronger than they make us believe. And that is the reason why they try to always put us down, because they know our strength. They know our power. Ladies, don't be fooled.
Yes.
You, sister, when you go with my other sister, we are going to create the biggest sisterhood here, and we will lead. We are going to lead this. Any woman that has the balls, come join us. Let's all get together and lead this. Lead this by example, sisters. Come on. We can do this. We have the strength, we have the power, and we have the spirit to do this. Our ancestors demanded, and we can do it. Come on.
Yes. Thank you
sister,
so much, Inti.
Blessings to you and blessings to my other sister, because she's so beautiful too. And I love you both. And I'm right behind
Likewise,
you.
Inti.
And
Thank
if
you so
anytime
much, Inti.
you need me to turn up, you only need to DM me the address and the time, and I'm there. And I expect that from every sister on this panel, and every sister that hears this. You must do the same. It is now. It's not even a choice. We have to do this. We have to get together, and this is the only way we're going to win. Everybody, come on, sisters. Let's lead and take our men with us, and we can go into this battle, and this can be finished very quickly if we do it that way. Within a very short space of time, it will all be obliterated. We've done it before. We can do it again.
Yeah,
blessings to you all.
Exactly. Ever since you came up yesterday, I've been thinking about you, actually, and Inti. I've been thinking, of course, we were talking about the cleansing, we were talking about all these things, and as I've mentioned, the spiritual space, and of course you're going to be the first person again that I invite to come and do this, and the power that we have as women with our voices. Like some of you who are here regularly, you hear the women. You hear us in all of our different backgrounds. You got anti-racist mum, you got Inti, you got Mimi, you got Alora, you got LB. You know, we need to come together. Annie as well now. When we speak, I know that you guys feel it. There's a reason why you follow us. There's a reason why you can't wait for us to be on other people's lives and be like, come on, serve it to the people, give it to them. I've seen you lot in the comment section, because you know that we are supposed to be the ones. This world was a matriarch. It was. Those of you who are black and you've gone back to your African ancestry, you know about Queen Amarenas. You know about Nzinga. You know about Nefertiti.
Yes.
You know
This
about
is why I'm saying women who have led their nations into battle and have won. We are not these weak little things that men portray us to be. There's a reason why they do that to us.
There's stories that I will I keep saying this. I know I keep teasing some of you people who know I've said this, and I've talked about my spiritual path, and when you see me I take a deep breath. It's because there's certain things that I can say, certain things I can't say yet. I really am so itching to share a story about a past life that I've had, and then everything will make sense about why I talk as I talk and how I talk as I talk. But one day it will be revealed, and I know a lot of us as women here, especially when we're using our voices, we've been very important people in our past lives. People like Inti, I definitely know you've been someone important in your past life. I know this for sure. Mimi as well. There's been stories that we've been asleep to, but then we'll get awakened to again. And I've been awakened to mine too. So I'm really glad that more women are connecting and doing all these things. No, I wasn't a colonizer. Miss Sophie, and I was not a colonizer. No, I've never been as far as I've seen. Thankfully, I've never been a colonizer. But I'd say I will share some of my past lives when the time is right to share it a little bit more. But on that note,
Thank you, sister. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Intu. Thank you,
Love
sister.
you. Bye-bye.
Appreciate you. Love you too. Thank you. Bye-bye. And now we've got Eva. Eva, how are you? Why does it keep saying I don't follow?
Hello,
Eva, yes.
hello, good morning. I'm fine, thank you. What about you?
I am lovely, thank you. What do you want to add? What do you want to add, Eva? White people are finished. Are you going down with them?
I think I'm going down, but not like that. I only, just because I got the mixed kids, then I let down to the white. But because of white, it's so boring, I decided to make a mixed kids. And I know they will be more educated than white. Even I'm white, but I'm not scared to say that. I'm just telling the truth. That's it.
I know.
I will be so quick. Another thing, it's so hot here, of course. And to the people who hate, then you can know how it's hot in hell, then change yourself before you go to the hell.
Right, that's a bar there. That is a bar. Yes, that is a bar, Eva. That is a bar. If you're hot on earth, if you are hot on earth, the heat that you will feel in hell will be nothing in comparison. Oh, it's true.
Yeah,
it's literally true. It's true. Those
yeah.
are people who realize. So for me, as a spiritual people, anyone who's spiritual, we know that this is the test already. Earth is your test. This is purgatory. We're already living in it. This is purgatory. It's not heaven or hell, but this is where your test is. If you fuck up, you're going to the depths of hell. And the colonizers are all going there anyway. We know that they're down there. Half of them are already down there. We know this. And the next lot of people are literally going down there. Ooh, they're going to suffer. Yeah. They're already suffering internally. You see the crash out. They're suffering already, but they're going to have internal suffering. Ooh, wee. Oh.
They hate black or brown people, but they're still going to the sunbed or catch the tan. Why? Why you want to be darker than you are? Like, oh my goodness, really?
Jealousy again.
I'm going to the sun. I'm like, how you say the animal? Chameleon? How you say? I don't know.
Chameleon. Chameleon.
Yes. I'm like that. I'm going there. I'm going red. Then I come back. It's going brown, then red, and every color is on my body. Okay, guys. I will take more of your time. Just enjoy your lovely day. You look beautiful as always.
Thank you.
And all these lovely people on this chat. Yeah, we as a woman, we have to be together, like woman power. Men know if we do something, we do properly, then we don't give it.
Exactly. On this note, I'm definitely going to do an all women's live. I have done one before, but I'm definitely going to focus more on the unity and spirituality across, wherever we are. I'm definitely going to do one of those next. And maybe I might start doing that one regularly as well, because the way that I'm seeing all of us starting to move together, it's beautiful, Eva. I fucking love it. I love it so much. I love it. I really love it. I love it so much. Thank you so much, my sister. I appreciate you so much.
No problem. Enjoy your day, everyone. Bye.
And you too. Bye. Thank you. And Mimi, how do you always end up being the last person?
I'm like, okay, but it's all right. Thank you, but I'll take it. Thank you. I know your battery's dying. I just wanted to comment because it was grating me like a chalkboard having nails screamed across it. We really need to start using the correct term, guys. I know it's easy for us to slip into, I experience racism amongst my group or with another group if you're black and brown interchangeably, but that is not racism, and we need to be careful because the more that you say it, the more you're giving credence and you're opening up the white racists when they keep doing this. Oh, everyone can be racist, or everyone can be bad, and all the rest of it. You are allowing them to create that false equivalence, which doesn't move our plight forward, and it actually undermines what we are saying on this. And this is why you hear a lot of whitey people rejecting this notion that we say that all white people are inherently racist. Oh, I'm not racist. I've not got racist, and it takes away from what we're saying. You can know that you've never met every single white person in this world, but we also know how the English language works. And when you feed into that, you distract from the conversation, and you also undermine it, and you devalue it. So I know sometimes it's easy. I do it myself, but sometimes when I'm in conversation like this, especially knowing that we have a lot of racists that like to frequent your lives, we have to be careful that we're not inadvertently giving them the fuel to try and burn us in the future. So yeah, the terms that we can use, I wouldn't even use prejudice as well, because again, prejudice is an assumption without facts. There's a lot of facts for us as black people and why we behave the way we do towards whitey people. So it's not prejudice.
It's with reason. Exactly, it's with reason. Yes.
It's self-preservation at this point. But going back to my sociology head to hair and hat, there is the term that is used when we're looking at what is going on currently with the Asian community and the Southeast Asian community. So I'm talking about your Chinese and your Asian, like Pakistani, Bangladesh, like we have in the UK here. You can use the term racial triangulation. This is a more recent term by, I think it's Claire Kim. I think she's got a middle name as well. And it builds on the interest convergence from Derek Bell and Du Bois' double consciousness. Now, if you're black, you should be reading Frantz Fanon and Du Bois and how they've talked about double consciousness, because it goes a lot into the trials and tribulations that we as black people have to use when we're code switching, and how we have to navigate through this YT supremacist world, particularly when we live in, as the guy said, Babylon, which is cracking me up. I need you guys to start reading up on that, because it informs what's happening now, okay? And that's why you see some of these groups that you think, well, hold on, you experience racism, you experience prejudice, why are you turning on me? It informs what is going on. And if you start to understand that, you will understand why these groups are behaving in the way that they are. But yeah, the term we are using now, that is in parlance now, should be racial triangulation. And that explains how YT people obviously seek to use the other groups to do their bidding. It also encapsulates how they swept in the Italians and the Irish into being classed as white, and increasingly now Arabs as well. And it explains how these recent groups and how they've been co-opted into whiteness, how they are doing the bidding of the whitey supremacists, but they will never be white themselves, and they will never be accepted themselves. And we had a classic example of someone who was in the chat when Eva was speaking, said you're white, but you're never going to be British or white. And I just thought, look at that, there you go, you got it in action.
Did they say that?
They did, and it was a whitey woman at that as well. And I just thought, look at that, you're suffering from your own issues as a woman, and you're white as well, but you don't even get that, the irony. So yeah, so that is, it's important that we start to use that. Asians don't benefit from supremacy. They don't benefit at all, but they help to support the system, and it doesn't support their community. So we can't say that they're racist, because there's no power. They're not gaining anything from being racist, because they can't be racist. They don't have the power. So when you're in this conversation, you can talk about anti-blackness, is what the lady from Jamaica was referring to. And we also need to start understanding how imperialism and colonialism falls into this as well. Once you start to understand these terms, it allows everything to fall into place. And even for the YT people who don't agree with you, they will then start to become informed about why we are using these terms. The Irish guy that was on as a classic example, initially he probably wanted to be like, oh no, you're wrong. But once he started to hear the explanation of what's going on, it then fair enough, he can understand. Does that make sense? So that's why it's important for us, even though I don't believe in upskilling YT people, they can do the research themselves. For us, when we are speaking into community, we do need to start using these terms correctly. Okay. And yeah, there's no such, because it also falls into the model minority myth, which again is a myth. It doesn't mean in practice they are actually benefiting. And we can see that through the laws and the anti-Asian hate that we see being perpetrated as well. So please just use the correct terms.
Thank you,
When you
Mimi.
say that about China and Africa, that is imperialism. And again, that's why we need to use the correct terms. Because if you don't understand imperialism and colonialism, you would not understand why the Chinese and other groups are seeking to monopolize the African continent, and also parts of the Caribbean as well. Thank you. As always, you're glowing. You look amazing. Love that you're here. Thank you so much for the time. And I'm going to drop down so you can finish, because I know your battery's dying.
Do you want to say something about the prompts? Like,
listen, what is known doesn't need to be explained. It's understood. We already know they're going down. Even our own women aren't living with them. Do you understand? Mother Nature hates them. That's why she burns them. And I think this heat wave, that was a bar from Eva. I'm going to steal that. The heat wave as well was a classic example. We know that, if we drop in pew-pews and BBs on other countries, I said it yesterday, that the temperature of the earth is increased and it's getting higher. It is self-defeating to have wars with WARs with other groups. So when you're aligning with these groups, be it Trump or Starmer or whomever, and you think it's not going to affect you here, well, let this heat wave that's licking your backside in this country, 8th richest in the world, but we still can't get it together with our infrastructure. Let that remind you that these things have a consequence. There has to be balance in this world. And if it's out of balance, this is what happens. So good luck with that. I'm going to top up my vitamin D.
Exactly. Enjoy yourself. Do you know what? I love it at the moment now, Mimi. This is how much more fire I'm hearing from you as I get to know you more and I hear you more. You do this. When you're making your points, you bang on the table. We can hear it through this. You're like this. I can hear it.
Do you know what?
This is it. I'm gonna say it.
So I'm literally counting out what I want to say as well. So sometimes I've got to be structured, or I'll go off on a tangent. The spirituality thing with me, I can sit here all day and start talking to you about this, but I'm like, no, focus. Her battery's dying. We need to say X. But yeah, to what you said as well, I definitely believe I was one of the first Maroons. I believe Nanny was probably my mother. That's how deep it is. Yeah. And I believe my weapon of choice was poisons because of the whole gardening situation as well. And I have these conversations all the time.
Yesterday,
yeah,
yes,
exactly. I have these conversations all the time. This is how bad it is. So yeah, do you know what I mean? And that's why I'm not frightened, because I know that whatever happens, I'm not going down without a fight. Yes, so maybe that's why God put me in South London, because he knew my heart.
Exactly. And if you remember yesterday, there was that scared boy were you here for that part? It was like, this boy, it's the men who are scared. They're the ones who are afraid. And then literally one of them said, well, tell us what to do. Like, tell me what to do. Like, you get your fists up. You get your fists up. Like, we're fighting we're fighting you guys intellectually, spiritually, like what, and you guys are the physical ones. You get yourself in the gym. Then that's where you're at. That's where you're at. You're still in that mode. Okay.
The ancestors have given us the cheat codes. Everything it's a cycle. Everything we're going through now has already happened. And the ancestors wrote books. When I look at some of the Black history books that I'm currently going through with my young people now, they are literally talking about the stuff that we're going through now. And it also tells you how they succeeded. There was a reason why the guy, Pete, I've forgotten his name now. It'll come back to me after I drop. There's a reason why the guy who did Project 2025, his dissertation was in Black resistance and rebellion in Haiti. They study us. They know our history more than us. Why? Because we defeated them before. And if you're not clued in and tapped in, the answers that you want are in the books. That is why I make a point of putting the books that I'm reading or that I'm discussing on my page for a reason. I even try sometimes I group it, because when we're on this app, I notice that we've got a lot of people who don't like Black people on here, but I'm saying to you, there's a reason why they keep putting the books out of print. A lot of the books that we need are actually online. They're free. If you look up, because they're out of they've been written so long ago, they're actually out of print. They're license free, so the information is there. The issue is a lot of us are too lazy to go and read it. There's stuff that happens and I'm like, hold on a minute, let me go back to this book, and it talks about it. When the previous person was talking about it's women that was doing it, the lady from Argentina, it's always been Black. It's always been women. Always. In every single it's always Black women, because we are the natural lead. Misogyny is a white supremacist tool. Okay, when you look at our communities and how we functioned, it was a matriarchy. It wasn't a negative for us. It actually worked in our interest. And when you look at what's happened on the African continent and you look at pre-colonial history, it talks about women leading. They were going in, they were fighting in wars and also alongside. So it doesn't make sense now that you're swallowing this kind of really weird 1950s kind of sanitized version of what home life looks like, when it's always been against the order. So again, I can't do the learning for you. I'll teach me and mine. Yeah, there's a reason why I put my lot in martial arts. There's a reason why I believe strongly that if you can't fight with mental, you've got to fight physically. And I always say there's a space and a place for everybody in this. So the boys on the block, I've got love for them. They've got space for me because similar to what's happening in the island, I went straight out and was like, listen, I need you guys to be on alert because if we're starting to see certain people from Bermondsey coming down here, what are we going to be doing? And vice versa. When they need the legal support and all the rest of it, I've got them. We work in an ecosystem. We are interdependent upon each other. Everyone has a space and a place. And that's the thing. Even I might have the academic and the keyboard warrior stance as well, but I know that me and mine will be okay because I make sure that my community is taken care of. And that's what a lot of people need to get back to is communalism. This idea of individualism does not serve you. So I'm going to end it there. But yeah, you need to start upskilling your black children with the history of your black community and making them aware of the fact that black power is not the same as white power and liberation, but it's actually about our essence and how we choose to move forward and be seen in this world. And if you're uncomfortable with that, you need to start unpicking why that is, because what we're not talking about dumbing down other communities at the behest of ours or anything like that. Doesn't make sense. What we're talking about is how we naturally are, how we naturally were before we were interrupted for 400 years, and also about preserving. We are very welcoming people. We don't shun people, but what we have to start doing is being protective of ourselves.
Yes, that's very important. And I'm glad you brought that up yesterday as well about this protection. Thank you so much. Right, I've got 15% batteries. So I had to whiz through those people. 2 more people. I'm going to go to, Turtle. Thank you, Mimi. And then Harms. And then we'll probably finish after this, I will imagine so. So, yes, Turtle, what do you want to add? White people are finished. Are you going down with them?
No way. Hi, Fox. So I just wanted to make this quick. It's so real. It's getting so real that we are remembering our past lives. And I'm going to explain one of the visions I had apart from many other visions that I've had, but I'm just going to get to this quick. I had a vision that my mom was this native Indian, indigenous American lady. And it's real funny because my mother also had the same dream. And like 2-3 days later, she came and told me about the dream, and I was like, "You serious?" What she looked like? She was like native Indian indigenous. I was like, "That's crazy," because I had the same vision, and it can't be a coincidence that we both had the same vision.
Connected. Yeah, that's how it works. I need to do a spiritual live, I say again, specifically to talk about this stuff, because when I became spiritual, that's when my mum started to open up about the things that she was seeing and experiencing. Like she saw her mother, my grandmother, which she never told me because my nan passed away in 2009. Only when I started to talk about feeling the presence of my nan was she like, "Oh yeah, I saw her." I was like, "What the hell? You didn't even say this. You kept this for years to person." And I even said, I spoke to my uncle about it. He goes, "Yeah, I saw her too, kneeling at the end of my bed." And the more that we talk about it, because this is the problem with the West, because they took us away from our spirituality, they did not get us to connect with past lives and did not get us to connect with family members who have passed already. This is a massive problem for us, and that's why people get afraid, right? They get afraid of death, they get afraid of just anything else around them because they think that this is it. So we definitely need to have more of that conversation on another live. But thank you so much for that, Turtle. Right, we're going to go now to Homs now, please. Thank you. Homs will finish us up now for today. Homs, how are you again?
Hello. No, I just wanted to I just wanted to add a few things. One thing is for all the white people listening. If you by chance, maybe, if you're listening and you're open to listening to me, I hope you're just throwing a ball out there, Hail Mary. But basically,
your big screen.
Oh, thank you very much. What I wanted to say is that you have to understand that we have traditions, and I don't mean as white people. We have all the white people. We have traditions that are different from one another, etc. And you have to find those traditions. One example that I can give, for example, I come from the mountains. So communal grazing, for example. This is very important. We have a very, very old tradition of communal grazing, right? A lot of our communities are organized around this. And what happens is that people come and want to take the mountains, take those spaces specifically for their profit. And what we do is that we fight. We have found some place where we can actually fight that makes sense culturally. That is not based in whiteness. It's the fact that there is a local tradition that we want to defend. That is not based in whiteness, but that exists because of who we are as a tradition and our history. And through this, what happens is that we actually, through this fight, we actively disrupt the system as it functions. So find what is in your local area, whatever the tradition that prevents the expansion of this, and fight. Do not actually let the system eat you. Become some kind of I don't know, agent that has no culture, no background, no history, nothing. Put yourself in the land. Put yourself in those practices, in those traditions, and do not be exclusive. Do not say this is for white people. No, anyone can participate in those traditions. Anyone that has that joins those traditions is part of the land. This is important. And the last part about the spirituality. One thing is that if you come to the mountains, you'll know the mountains they speak.
Yes, they do. All of it does. Every part of the land, the soil, the mountains, the sea, the sky, the stars, everything. If you connect with yourself and your intuition and you silence your mind, which of course is quite hard to do, especially in the Western world. And, you know, once you silence all that, you can hear so much. And the reason why I was spiritually awakened actually is because I left the UK. I've made that a big deal. But coming to somewhere where the vibration is completely different, and where I am surrounded by them. I literally live in the mountains now, and I'm surrounded by the sea and the sky, and it is absolutely beautiful. And it was quite quick actually that I was spiritually, well, actually it wasn't that quick. It was 1 month after my 40th birthday, but I was literally spending more time with the elements. When I lived in the UK, I was more in the forest and things, which I absolutely love, you know, having dogs and letting them run around. But life is so busy, and because I wasn't happy there, I was spending a lot more time traveling, so I was not grounded enough. When I moved here, I was happy. I didn't go anywhere, so my energy started to settle, started to calm. I'm ADHD as well, right? So I'm literally used to being like 100 miles an hour. But here got me to slow down, and then everything started to change more naturally, and then I could see more of the world properly. And I said, oh, okay, now I understand that this is how it's supposed to be. So I'm really glad that you've just said all of the things that you've just said regarding practices and traditions. And yes, as part of the spiritual life that I will do, we'll talk more about that. And it's really important that people do share their practices and the things that they do, because we are so far away from what we need to be as humans, and we need to do the work on a higher level. It's not about just going to the gym. It's not just about having the coolest bag or something like that. It's not like about that anymore. It's about dealing with us, who we are inside. So, right. Thank you so much, everybody, for another fantastic live. I've really enjoyed the conversation again today. Everyone was wicked. Great panel guests. Thank you so much. Hilarious crush outs as usual. Big up to my mods in the comment section. You guys always kill it down there. I really appreciate you. And we made it to 80k likes. So thank you so much, everybody, for that. Everybody, have a wonderful day. I will be back on maybe on Friday, I think. Friday, I will be back for another conversation. And then, of course, on Saturday will be the panel. But the spiritual one, I'll tell you guys when I'll do that one. So appreciate you all. Keep laughing, keep loving, keep smiling. Appreciate all the comments, all the gifts, all the compliments. Really and truly, we are building the collective. Drink water, absolutely. Keep hydrated, very important. Right, guys, I'll see you again on Friday. Bye, everyone.